There we go. Good stuff indeed. Yeah, now we've got the mic working. It was just the mic that was needed sorting out. So there we go. We are back. We are back with more 100% racing, of course. Unfortunately, you had, well, fortunately for yourselves, fortunately for your ears, you had Ginger Rage taking you through the Grand Prix last week on Wednesday. But unfortunately for those now listening, I am back. And we are ready to get going for the Bahrain Grand Prix. Of course, this is going to be much better than the Grand Prix that's coming up, of course, on the Sunday. The first 2023 F1 race of the season is due to come up very, very soon indeed. But this is basically the preview, and this is where it's going to be better. They're much better than the actual thing, in my opinion, anyway. So good stuff indeed. Welcome to those guys. Sorry, in the chats, in the streams. We'll get the comment section up very, very shortly as well. We're just getting everything sorted as Kaz has jumped into the lobby. So that is good news. We're going to have, I think we're going to have 17, a couple of people just joining late, unfortunately, so they should be able to get themselves in and out very soon. And in and about, I should say, very soon, as Kaz just needs to get himself into his car. And then he can get himself sorted for this race. But like I said, we've got the 57 laps tonight of the Bahrain Grand Prix for your viewing pleasure. That is all good. And like I said, just making sure everybody's got themselves all sorted in the chats and whatnot as well. It looks like everybody's in. Kaz has picked his car. He's got himself back in his Ferrari, which is good news indeed. And we're ready to get going now for the qualifying, of course, around this. Well, it's now a very sort of famous circuit because we've raced around here quite a few times in F1 history already, haven't we? With that being the various layouts as well that we raced around 2020. Of course, the Sakir layout as well, which was gone left on this part of the circuit here. Yeah, of course, we're racing the traditional layout, the Sakir International Circuit, or the Bahrain International Circuit as it's known now. And yeah, so we've got the racers ready to get going, and they are, of course, getting their sights set. There we go, out on track for the time being. And let me get the stream up. There we go. Good evening from Ewok there in the comment section. Serious Rushman, good evening to as well. And good luck as well. And Serious Rushman, not Spa. No, it's not Spa. Of course, Serious Rushman did tell us just before we got into the lobby that he'd been practicing for the Belgium Grand Prix for tonight's race. Unfortunately, he has got to wait. I think it's next week. We'll have to have a look at the calendar, of course, afterwards. But yeah, I think it's next week rather than this week because, of course, we're doing the we're basically going to be staying ahead of the official F1 calendar as well by making sure that we do a better race than they will, of course, on the Wednesdays rather than on the Sundays. That is. So, of course, we're going to be one step ahead of the F1 season. So, looking forward to seeing what the drivers can do, of course, tonight. But no, it's not Spa, unfortunately, for Serious Mushroom. He was wrong on that one, but of course he's got his practice in for, of course, bronze next week, gold on Sunday, gold on Sunday, silver on Monday, and then bronze on Tuesday. From this Sunday are all going to be at the Belgian circuit of Spa-Francorchamps, of course, racing through the Ardennes Forest as well. So that'll be one to look out for from the Sunday, 7:30 p.m. on every night of the week. And then, of course, the 100% League returns next week with, I think it is the Spa Grand Prix as well. So we'll have to wait and see. No, we've done Spa, haven't we, in 100% already? It was round 6, I believe. Yeah, we've got some other opportunities coming our way. We'll have to look at the calendar and double check what's going to be up next. But it might be Saudi Arabia even. We'll have to find out. There we go. Back to the commentary. Back to the commentary. We don't have commentary here, do we? Back to the stream at hand, and we'll have to wait and see how that is going for all the drivers. Of course, the only two drivers who set a time so far is Kydell in the McLaren and Ginner there in the Alpine. Of course, Ginner making the switch there from the Williams team to the Alpine team, of course, with the joint constructors in mind there as well. So that is why Ginner has switched teams on this occasion. Let's get the telemetry up so we can see what the drivers are doing, and let's see what tyres they're on as well. So here we go. A few drivers there setting their times now. Sicker Smuck and Ewok there in the Mercedes, both up into P2 and P3 respectively. Here comes Beat though. Sorry, he's got up to P2 there, displacing the two Mercedes there. Up into the front row of the grid there is the Ferrari driver, of course. Good stuff indeed from him. Martin there has popped himself up in between the two Alpines, in between the two Mercedes, I should say, in in the Alpine, and it is now a Mercedes and Alpine sandwich, with Gina there in the other Alpine in P6 at the moment. AC Immortal, they're the current championship leader, coming round into Sector 3, and imagine another purple sector from him as well. Of course, we've seen the form of AC Immortal there. It's been pretty impressive, hasn't it, since he's got his full-time seat there in the AlphaTauri, and is looking good indeed to get the championship all wrapped up quite soon as well, to be honest. I'm not quite sure exactly how long it's going to take before the haven't done the calculations just yet of on the points paying positions for AC Immortal and how much he needs to win the championship, but he has gone fastest by almost a second there, well over a second there, to Kai Dell. That is an impressive lap time indeed on his first lap around this track tonight, and that is put himself very comfortably a favourite for pole position, hasn't it? 28.219 there for the AlphaTauri driver. Very good stuff indeed. And Serious Mushroom has said, I am stupid. I'm not quite sure if that is a reference to myself, which it probably is, or if it's reference to him, but he's maybe it's because he lost his car keys once again in the pit lane there, so he's not been able to take part in this qualifying session, unfortunately. Yeah, there is only 16 drivers taking part. Not quite sure if you can hear the game audio. Yes, you can hear the game audio. It's just my end. There we go. Good stuff indeed. So AC Immortal, they're currently on pole position, looking good indeed to extend his run up to the top of the field there in the AlphaTauri, I should say. Here comes Gamer there. He's one of the rivals there for AC Immortal. He's done a good job there, has Gamer, in the few races that he's done as well in the Aston Martin. Of course, one of the other drivers who switched from the Ferrari to the Aston Martin again for the joint constructors. Racing in gold, isn't he, for the Aston Martin team? So he wanted to just double his profits, but now taking to the track, they're going through Sector 1 there, purple in Sector 1 as well, which is good news for the Aston Martin team and for himself. And now negotiating the next hairpin of Sector 2. Sector 2 is it's probably the most difficult sector, I would say, because it's made up of quite a lot of slow braking zones and low speed corners as well, as you can see through here into turn 9 and 10, and he's managed to negotiate that very nicely as well indeed. Serious Mushroom said, should be realistic and Immortal should be on push bikes, says Serious Mushroom. Well, I was saying that to Kaz actually, because Kaz was saying that he thought it was set on realistic, of course, in his Ferrari, which would have put him in one of the fastest cars on the grid. And Kaz has been capable of getting some good points in this season so far. So it just shows that consistency is key. It's not all about the pace; it's about getting to the finish line. And Kaz and Serious Mushroom are probably the two candidates who know that very well off the top of their heads. X Gamer there coming around the final corner to finish his lap here. What can he do there? Up to the line. It's going to be very close indeed. A 28.489 there, puts himself just behind Immortal there by just over 2.5 tenths there. Good stuff indeed there from Gamer as well. Very good and very impressive time indeed. Reflection has once again lost his car keys as well. It seems like Reflection, he seems to have a problem there in the 100% races, and he's unfortunately going to be starting from the back of the grid along with Serious Mushroom at the moment. The likes of Siege, Scooby Stew, Kaz and Chewy haven't gone out on track just yet. Vintage has set a time of 32.5 there. I think that is not representative, just a banker lap there to set his sights, as we know that Vintage can go a lot faster than that as well. Bannister there in P9 as it stands at the moment. And Serious Mushroom said, you never call me stupid. Well, that's probably stupid on your part there, because I think there's probably plenty of things that I've got wrong and will get wrong in the future. It is just guaranteed. I am stupid, as Leclerc would have said, but I don't think he'll be saying it around this kit. Of course, we've got two Ferrari drivers who know what they're doing, rather than the Monegasque. But we're not racing around Baku, thankfully, as well, which is good news. We do have Baku coming up, of course, in 100%. We haven't done that one yet, so there is a very treacherous castle section that is lurking in the future for the 100% league, but we don't have to worry about that tonight. We're in a different desert. We're in the deserts of Bahrain there in Sakir as well, so looking forward to seeing how the race is going to unfold in this one. And of course we've got Vintage there taking to the track tonight as well, so let's see what he can do. He's not using any ERS on this lap, so maybe that is why he's not setting a competitive lap time. Maybe he's forgotten to turn that ERS button, switch that ERS button on, but maybe he's just about to get himself going once again for a flying lap. So we'll see what he can do now as he comes round the final corner. I think this is when he gets going. He's going to start his flying lap now, so we'll stay on board with Vintage and we'll give us a tour around the Bahrain Grand Prix circuit as we go down the main straight towards the very deep braking zone of turn 1. And of course the pit exit there just on the right hand side as you come down the pit lane, down the straight as well, and that is of course a bit treacherous when you go into turn one because it's a heavy braking zone as it is, and then of course you've got cars coming out the side on the side of you as well, which makes it even more difficult to judge. But Vintage doesn't need to worry about that right now. He just needs to worry about getting his car around the circuit, and he's done a good job there getting through turns 2 and 3, and now turn 4, turn 5 and 6, now into the squiggly bit, I would say, of the sector 2, and now through into turn 7. The hairpin dips down into the hairpin and then up the hill once again towards turn 8, which is technically this turn, and turn 9 as well, which is again a very easy zone to lock up the brakes and make it a bit more difficult for slowing down the car. And you can see a few cars there in Grand Prix racing and of course in league racing as well going off there with a few errors, unfortunately, but he's negotiated very nicely as well. Turn 10 and 11 done and dusted. Now into turn 12. Let's make sure we can get him through here nicely as well. He has done. Now turn 13 we go around here as well, looking very nice indeed in the Williams, much improved from his 32.1 that he's set already, and now down towards turn 14 and 15. Technically this is 2 turns here, but I count it as 1. Turns 14 and 15 there, done and dusted, and now up to the line. What's it going to be for the Williams driver? It's going to be close indeed to 31.287 there. Keeps himself P10, I should say. He has improved there by over a second as well, though, so it's not all doom and gloom there for the Williams driver. So good stuff indeed. We've got a few drivers coming out of the pit lane, I think, here. Martin, I think, has just cut. It wasn't Martin, it was a Williams, I think it was. No, it was Vintage, so I'm getting confused now. You see, my brain is not working tonight. So there we go. Not feeling well tonight, unfortunately, but we'll get through it. Chewy there is on track into Sector 2. Let's see what he can do tonight. Then Chewy, of course, getting his first points. I think it was 2 races ago now, wasn't it? In the Haas, of course, joining full time. And like I said, he stuck at it very nicely indeed. Let's see what he can do tonight in the Haas as well. But it looks like he's just going for a banker lap here as well. Let's have a look. Wilson. Bradfield wants to invite. I would race, but I found for Liverpool. Yeah, I think Liverpool will be much more entertaining tonight. I'm not quite sure. I don't think so. In my opinion. But there we go. Chewy is on track. Sorry about this. I need to just pause and blow my nose. Back again, sorry about that. Chewy has just set a 57 there, but he's of course going around again. I think there's question marks about whether Bradfield is racing or not. I think we might as well get Bradfield in if we can. I think we might as well just invite him and tell him to go in the Alfa Romeo. Let me see if I can find him on my friends list. There he is. Let me message him as well quickly just to tell him which car, and he can get into. No, that's the wrong one, isn't it? I think. Right, there we go, good stuff. I think we were meant to have Dean Phelan was meant to be joining us as well. He was meant to be reserving tonight in the Red Bull, which currently we don't have any Red Bulls on the grid, which makes it. There we go, good stuff indeed. So we've got everybody in that we need to get in. And Chewy there is now on a representative lap time. We'll have a look at that. Sorry, we got distracted there by people trying to jump into the lobby and whatnot. But Chewy there is on track now in the Haas. Let's see what he can do here as he comes down the back straight towards the final couple of corners, or final corner in my opinion, as turn 14 and 15 are completed. And now up to the line. Let's see what the Haas driver can do. DRS is activated, of course, doing a bit more extra boost towards the line. It's 31.138 there for Chewy. Puts himself P10 there currently, which is good news indeed. Oh, sorry. Brilliant stuff indeed. So like I said, Chewy there is Chewy has set a time there. He's put himself up into P10. Only 11 drivers have set a time so far, though Siege, Kaz, Bradfield and Scooby Stew yet to get themselves out of the pits, and Serious Mushroom and Reflection have decided to retire the car in the pit lane. So there it is, done and dusted there. And we'll have to wait and see now who is going to be the next driver to set a time on the board. Ewok Jr. doing a good job there, getting himself up into P4 to rival the likes of Kydell and Gamer as well. Although the top three seem to be in a league of their own currently at the moment. They're about 4/10 separating the top three, and then they've got quite a nice gap there to P4 and onwards as well. So looks like Gamer, Kydell and Immortal there are in a bit of a league of their own as it stands at the moment, of course. But there's still more to come there from the rest of the drivers yet to set the time on the board as well. So we'll have to wait and see what they can do. Can they improve on the current times they set? Can the drivers who are in the pit lane get themselves out on track to set a time as well? We will find out very, very soon. So stay tuned to the streams, to the comments, and to all of the action. But there we go. Mic drop already, says Serious Mushroom. Yeah, I think I just smacked my mic. Trying to sort out everything. We're trying to get the invites and whatnot on my phone and whatnot as well. So there we go. Good stuff indeed. We've got, like I said, Bradford has joined the session. He's got himself in the car. So that is him ready to get going now as well. Unfortunately, we did have Dean Phelan there due to join in the Red Bull, but he's not been able to materialise as Bannister there going off the circuit there. We're going wide at turn 4, letting the Ferrari through as Scooby Stew has retired in the pit lane, I think. Unfortunately for Scooby Stew, he's not been able to set a time in this qualifying session. That's him done and dusted in this one. Bannister is out on track. He's done 3 laps on those soft compound tyres. I think this might be not sure if he's going to be able to improve on those on that time there with those tyres. It's the same for Martin as well. 3 laps on those soft compound tyres. Might be just setting his sights there to see how long they're going to last for the race. But we'll have to find out what the strategy is going to be like. Was Martin there having a bit of an issue there on the exit, the hairpin there in sector 2? He spun the car around. Thankfully, nobody was collected by that. But he's managed to get himself sorted and back underway. The other AlphaTauri of Immortal there just starting his flying lap now. The same, I think, is what we can say for Vintage. Sorry, not Vintage. I thought it was Jinner. It is Vintage, and Siege there is on track as well. There's a Mercedes on track too. It's sick as muck. They're going through, and now we've got a Ferrari of. It's not Kaz. It's Beat there. Didn't get to the line there. It looks like I think he must have just got the timings wrong slightly. And we have got a. It's an Alfa Romeo of Bannister there up to the line. He's coming back into the pit lane there, so we've called it a day there on those tyres. I think, like I said, the 3-lap old tyres there wasn't going to be the right one to get into the line anyway, as Martin there is getting in the way of his teammate massively. He's blocked his teammate of Jinner, I think it was Jinner there, having to get out of the way there and having to abort the maybe abort the lap. I think it was close indeed for a bit of contact between the two Alpines. I think he was just trying to give him a tow, but he completely botched the attempt there. I think Jinner up to the line there. He does improve to a 29.0 there, but I think he did get impeded. Almost half a second improvement there from Jinner as well. Good stuff indeed. He's jumped up to P5 ahead of Beat. Sick as muck there coming down the back straight. Martin is back in the pit lane as well. Let's have a look and see who's going to cross the line next. There's an Aston Martin peeling away back into the pit lane. X-Gamer is done and dusted in this session. Bradford up to the line. He's gone P7 there with a 29.6. Good stuff indeed. Kydell, I think, has he's not been able to improve on his last lap. Well, he has improved on his last lap. He's gone up to a 28.5 there, but not enough to take P2 away from Gamer, who's retired in the pit lane. Kaz goes into P11 there with a 30.4. AC Immortal goes faster still with a 27.9 there in the AlphaTauri. That is fantastic indeed, and that is half a second ahead of Gamer there, who, of course, didn't get to improve on his second run there, which is why he's retired in the pit lane. Vintage there is coming around the final corner. He's unfortunately invalidated, and that is him done and dusted. Sick as muck has improved to P7. So that is the qualifying order done and dusted. As we're going to wait for Vintage now to get himself back in the pit lane. But there we go, qualifying done and dusted now, and we've got ourselves ready, getting ourselves ready now for the race start. And we'll be underway very shortly if I can get my berries out. And there we go. We'll run through the classification of the qualifying in Bahrain in just a second there. We're just watching the lovely Williams get wheeled away into the pit lane. There we go. So like we said, AC Immortal is your pole sitter there. 27.9, the only driver into the 27s there. Fantastic stuff indeed from the AlphaTauri driver. P2 is X-Gamer there, almost half a second off. Kaidel in P3, both the Belgians there currently in the podium places. Will it finish that way though? We'll have to find out. Williams of Siege there in P4, Ewok there in P5, good qualifying from him. Jinner there in P6, Sickers Muck P7 in the Mercedes, Beat in the Ferrari in P8. Bradford there did get one time in, he got a P9 there with his efforts, over 29.6 as well. Martin there in P10, Bannister, Kaz, Vintage, Chewy outside of the top 10. Serious Mushroom, Scooby Stew and Reflection unfortunately didn't get a time set on the board. Kaz has said hello and good luck to all the drivers. Good luck to yourself, Kaz, as well. And I think I'm going to need a bit of good luck to get through this as well, because I'm already running out of energy and I can feel the coughs coming. But thankfully, we will be into the race very, very shortly. So we'll be able to get the action underway in just a few seconds' time. Hopefully that is. I think we're just waiting for the drivers now to load up their strategies, get their tyre compounds all set, get the fuel loads all sorted, and we'll be underway for the start of the Bahrain Grand Prix. Of course, this is the preview of the actual Bahrain Grand Prix, which is going to be a lot better tonight than it will be on Sunday. Much more entertaining as well. So yeah, looking forward to seeing what the drivers can do there tonight as well. And good news is there's no Red Bulls on the circuit to ruin anybody's race, so that is much more helpful. But right, 20 seconds until we get underway, and we'll be ready to get going very, very shortly indeed. So like I said, I think the drivers now getting themselves all set, getting everything all optimized for the start of their Grand Prix. We'll have to wait and see what the strategy is going to be like as well. We haven't looked at the strategy for Bahrain. We'll have to find out what the drivers are going to be doing in this race as we get ourselves ready for the formation lap in just a few minutes or a few seconds time now as we go. Here we go. Formation lap is now underway. Right then, we will have to have a look quickly. We'll turn that off. We don't want that. So we do want that. We don't want that. There we go. Good stuff indeed. Let's have a look at the tyre compounds for everybody on the grid. Here we go then. From the back of the grid, we've got Reflection there on the medium compound tyres. Scooby Stew P16 there on the mediums as well. So those two from the back of the grid starting on the medium compound tyres. Both the Hasses there on it's not row 17, is it? It's row it's row 7, isn't it? Of Serious Mushroom and Chewy there on the medium compound tyres as well from P14 and 15. Chewy there starting P14. We've got Ferrari having an issue there through turn 3. Vintage there in P13. In the Williams starting on the hard compound tyres, so looking to go long in the first stint. Kaz is in P12 there. Kaz is on the medium compound tyres in P12, so looking to have a decent start to the race. In P11, so we've got Bannister in the Alfa Romeo, the second of the Alfa Romeos currently on the grid. So he's going to be starting just outside the points paying positions on the medium compound tyres. Martin in P10 into the top 10, I should say. We've got Martin there in the Alpine on the mediums as well. Bradfield there in P9 on the soft compound tyres, so looking to have a quick start to the first stint of this race. So a couple of variations there in the strategies already. And then we've got Beat there in P8 who's on the softs as well. He's going to be starting on the faster tyre in this race. Then we've got Sickers Muck there on the hards in P7 in the Mercedes. Jinner in P6 in the other Alpine in on the hards as well, in starting from P6. Ewok there in P5 in the other Mercedes. So both the Mercedes looking to go long in the first stint. Into the second row of the grid, we've got Siege on the medium compound tyres in the Williams, Kaidel in the McLaren in P3 on the mediums as well. So those two going to be looking to see what they can do in the start of this race. Gamer though is in P2 and he's starting on the soft compound tyres. So that is a bold strategy choice there from the Aston Martin driver. He is going to be looking to get some great pace there on Immortal, trying to get himself up into the lead of the race in the first few laps or so in this stint. AC Immortal though, our pole sitter, he's actually lining himself up on the grid now, is on the hard compound tyres. So again, looking to go a long stint on this race, in this first stint I should say. So we'll have to find out what he can do as we get ourselves ready to get going once again. Right then, I think we're just waiting for the Ferraris. It seems like the Ferraris having an issue. They're getting themselves lined up in the grid box, as it looks like Kaz is having a very big issue there, trying to park his car as well. He has been reset back to his position, as we haven't got a view here of the lights. We have got a view here of the lights. The 5 red lights are on here in Bahrain, and the 5 red lights are off in Bahrain, and away we get going. Gamer there getting a good start. He needs to get himself alongside the AlphaTauri of Immortal. He's got the lead already before we get into turn 1. He's already alongside. I can't see what is going on with this camera angle here. It's absolutely horrible. There we go. Into turn 1, we got ourselves through as well. Bradford going off the track there. Kaido was already getting his elbows out as Bradford's up into P3 already. We've got I think it's a Williams there of Siege going a bit slowly there as recovering back to the track. Here goes Bradfield now down the outside, I should say, into turn 4. I think Bradford's not got the message that he needs to take it easier in the 100% league. But there we go. He's got himself up into P3 with a great start indeed on those soft compound tyres down the back of the grid. Ewok has dropped down to the back of the grid. I'm not quite sure if there's damage there for the Mercedes, and Reflections also had an issue there at turn 4, and he's got himself back underway. No damage there for the McLaren, no damage there for the Mercedes either, which is good news. So hopefully they can get themselves back underway in this race. The hard compound runners, I think, were having issues there on the start of the race, of course, because of the issues on those cold tyres compared to the warmed up, or the more warmed up soft compound tyres and the mediums as well. AC Immortal has lost the lead, and Gamer has got a 1.4 second lead almost already on the in the first 2 sectors of this lap, to open up the first 57 laps of the Bahrain Grand Prix, and that is good news indeed. Bradford, they're trying to get himself past Immortal as well on the soft compound tyres. Making the most of those soft compound tyres at this stage of the race is vital. Scooby Stew gets himself past Vintage there, up into P11 there. Scooby Stew with a good start as well. I need to switch to position changes as well to see how everyone's done, as Gamer there sets the fastest lap of the race, of course, with the first driver to cross the line, but Immortal now bringing that gap back down as we go down the main straight, so maybe there's a lot of straight line speed there indeed, and Bradfield and Immortal battling away into turn 1, and Immortal always lost out there, almost lost the car as well there through turns 2 and 3, but he's got himself back underway, and he's unfortunately lost a position there to Bradfield as well. Bradfield up 7 places already, as you can see there from the graphic on the left hand side. He's up into P2, he's got a 1.5 second gap there to the race leader of X Gamer there, who's got also started on the soft compound tyres and looking to get himself as far away as possible from the drivers behind. Chewy and Martin switching places into turn 4, and Martin now up into P14. Unfortunately, the biggest loser of the race start was Ewok there, who's unfortunately not sure what the delta is showing there. He's right behind the Haas of Chewy. He is not 1 minute and 30 seconds back. He's only a few or less than a tenth back, or no, less than a few tenths back actually. So he's just needs to wait for him to cross the line for that delta to reset. But there we go then. Unfortunately for Immortal there, like I said, dropping down to P3. Of course, on the hard compound tyres, he wouldn't expect to put up much of a fight there on the soft, to the drivers on the soft compound tyres anyway, I wouldn't imagine, but nonetheless he's got himself a battle to work on, as Chewy there losing out to Ewok there getting himself past and back up into P15. Yellow flags for Kaz. Kaz is off the circuit at turn 12. He needs to get himself back on track as quickly as possible there. The McLaren of Reflection going to come through as well. Unfortunately, Kaz dropping down to the back there. He needs to get himself back underway, which he has done thankfully, as Gamer once again sets the fastest lap of the race. Bradford there 2 seconds back now to the Aston Martin. He's losing time there to Gamer, and AC Immortal is staying within the DRS range there of the Alfa Romeo, which is great news indeed for Immortal. That's what he wanted. I think he wanted to be dragged along there by the DRS. He might not have the DRS though. He's almost 1 second out of the window there. He will have it down into turn 4. He's got the DRS now, so there we go. Sick as Muck has lost out. He's lost out massively there to a few drivers as well. I'm not quite sure if there was an issue there for Sick as Muck. Scooby Stew has got himself back past and up into P9, but Sick as Muck looking to come back past him into turn 4 down the inside. The Mercedes, he's gone in the back there as out the AlphaTauri. I'm not quite sure what that was for. As Kaz picks up a penalty there for speeding in the pit lane as well, unfortunately for Kaz. I'm not quite sure why he's having to come into the pits there on this occasion. He should have just been able to carry on. I think there wasn't any damage to the Ferrari, as Sick as Muck and Scooby Stew are going to resume their battle. Serious Mushroom there waiting in the wings as well to get himself inside the points paying positions, and he's not too far off as well. If there's a mistake from the AlphaTauri or the Mercedes, he will pounce there and get himself up into the points, as into the pits, like I said, goes Kaz, and Kaz now coming out the pit lane. He is going to be, he's got a penalty there. I think he's on the soft compound tyres now, is Kaz, as Jinner has got past, beat there into P6 there. Jinner there, they're still side by side through the end of sector 2 into sector 3, and down the inside goes the Ferrari. He's got the move done, of course, on the soft compound tyres as well is the Ferrari, so I think they're trying to get himself through so he can use the best of those soft compound tyres and get himself further up the order. He's going to be within range of Siege though with DRS. I think he might just be inside that 1 second window though. That's good news. Good luck, Aston, says Equaz there in the comment section. Unfortunately, There was only one Aston tonight. There was meant to be two, but unfortunately X-Gamer is flying the flag there for the Aston Martin team. He is currently in P1, which is not too bad for Aston Martin, of course, indeed. Let's have a look at the tyres. And once again, we'll go back to the tyres, as it looks like Kaz picking up that 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane there. It wasn't served when he did pit, and he has switched onto the soft compound tyres. So I'm not quite sure what the strategy is there for the Ferrari driver. We've got a yellow flag there for McLaren. It's Kydell off the circuit from P4 I should say. He's got himself back underway, but that was I'm not quite sure, there was a spin or some sort of contact there at the exit of turn 4 with another driver, but he's managed to get himself back underway. Bannister now excited on the back all over the back of that McLaren, and looking to get himself through as well. Bannister with a great drive out of the hairpin there. He's got himself ahead of Kydell there, up into P7. There is the Alfa Romeo driver. Good stuff indeed. Both the Alfa Romeo drivers doing a good job there at this stage of the race. P7 and P2 as it stands at the moment, but AC Immortal will have something to say about that. With Bradfield there, is he's going to be under pressure very soon, I think, from the AlphaTauri here, as getting a bit squirrely there is the AlphaTauri on the traction there, coming out the end of the middle straight, or the mid straight, and now onto the back straight there towards turn 14 and 15. He's going to be all over the back of the Alfa Romeo this time, and I think maybe down the main straight we might see a move for P2. There's a 4-second gap now towards Gamer and Bradfield there. I think the soft compound tyres, will they be dying out already? I think that's a bit too early there, even for the soft compound tyres to be dying out so soon. And now down the main straight we go. AC Immortal with DRS, with the ERS assistance as well, down into towards turn 1. He's got the move done before the braking zone. Is Bradfield going to come back at him though? He's not made any moves to attack, but can he make a move now down at the next straight towards turn 4? It's going to be all over the back of him this time before the Alfa Romeo, switching sides, and now down the next straight. He's got the DRS and he's powered back through for P2. Bradfield there with a great move and biding his time there through turns 2 and 3 as well, to make sure that he had the DRS and the good exit there to get himself out of turns 3 with the extra speed and get himself back past the AlphaTauri. So AC Immortal frustrated once again there. He's back behind the Alfa Romeo that he thought he'd put behind him at the exit of turn 1, but unfortunately not. The same for Siege. Siege has been passed there by Beat there in the Ferrari there into P4, and of course on the soft compound tyres as well. Right then, good stuff indeed. Kaz sets the fastest lap of the race. That's good news for Kaz. That could get him an extra point there if he completes the race, and he of course still has that fastest lap. But I think there's still quite a few laps to change hands. Serious Mushroom getting himself past Martin. I think Martin might have had an issue there. We got a yellow flag as Beat is off the circuit at the exit of turn 10. He needs to get himself resorted. He's gone through the polystyrene, which isn't too bad because of course it's not going to be too harmful for the car. But now trying to get himself back out on circuit, and he's rejoined in a bit of an odd place there. He's rejoined right between Serious Mushroom and Martin as well, but he's back in the queue, and now I think this train is forming behind Serious Mushroom. It's really bunching up the likes of Martin, Ewok, Scooby Stew, and Reflection and Chewy all in this battle. Is back at the front though. AC Immortal and Bradfield there switching places into turn 1. Down the inside goes the Alfa Romeo. Can he make the move? No, not quite. He's had to bide his time once again and back out of this one, but again, can he get the better exit onto the exit of turn 3 down towards turn 4? DRS is available for him. We've got overtakes all over the place, but here's the overtake for turn 2 down into turn 4 for P2 I should say, down into turn 4. He's got the inside line, and Bradfield once again back up into P2 again, ahead of Immortal. Down the order we have had some moves as well. Got has been overtaken there by Vintage. I know he hasn't. He's caught up to Vintage I should say. He's got himself past Serious Mushroom there. Jinner has been battling with Bannister I think as well, and Bannister is now caught up to P5 there. Jinner there on the hard compound tyres of course is going to be a bit slower at this stage of the race, so that is why they've been able to catch up to him. Kydell they're trying to recover his race as well, getting himself back up the order. But blimey, it's all kicking off, isn't it, as well? Scooby Stew right on the back of Reflection here. He's all over the back of the Reflection here as well as they go down towards turn 10. Down the outside is a dangerous game here as well, but he's managed to. He's putting the nose in there, is Scooby Stew, but he's not been able to make the move, I should say. Now with DRS assistance, potentially can he get a move into turn 11? I think he's a bit too far back at this stage, and to make any late moves, any late lunges that is. As Reflection, I think, has got a problem there on the McLaren. I'm not quite sure. He's dropped off the back of the other drivers ahead of him. He was in the queue. Yellow flagged once again as Kaidel's had an issue there at the exit of turn 13. He's had a problem there. He's getting the car back underway, but he might be overtaken by the other Ferrari coming through here as well. Into the final turn we go, 14 and 15. Oh, over the curbs as well. There goes the McLaren. I'm not quite sure. The McLarens are having a great time there at the moment. They're having a bit of a struggle there in Bahrain so far, but DRS is available there for the McLaren driver of Kaidel, which is good news indeed. He can get himself sorted and get himself back after the Ferrari. Into turn 1 we go. It's going to be close indeed. The yellow flags. We've got a problem there for a yellow flag for a Alfa Romeo. He's off the circuit. It's Bradfield. Bradfield's had an issue. The exit of turn 3. He's dropped down to P4. He's still within a good position though, to be fair. But those tyres might be a bit too warm for the time being, as Jinner is now all over the back of the Alfa Romeo driver as well, going into the back of the Alfa Romeo this time as well. Now going around the outside. Oh, we've lost the car there as Bannister's off the circuit. He's managed to recover it and not go into any walls, as Bradfield and Jinner, they're still battling away side by side. Bannister dropping down the order. He had a great job trying to recover the car there. He managed to keep it out of the wall, thankfully, but it's an easy place to lose the car. We've seen quite a lot of people lose the car and go off to the left there rather than the right, but he's managed to get the car back underway. He stays within the points paying positions for now as well, but it's getting quite tight in the tight at the top here as well. Scooby Stew's off the circuit there at turn 9 I should say, getting himself back underway as well. Unfortunately for Scooby Stew, he was in this battle, so Ewok's got himself past Vintage to get himself up into P11 there. Of course, he started in P5, did Ewok there, trying to get himself back up the order after a horrible turn, or horrible first lap that was. I'm not quite sure what happened to Ewok there, but he seemed to have had a few issues there going through the first few quarters with the rest of the pack, but now getting himself back up towards the points paying positions as well, which is good news indeed. But like I said, the pack really is all stuck up behind Beat there in P7. Everybody down towards P15 is stuck behind what's happening here between Jinner and Bradfield there. Bradfield there are weaving all over the place. Jinner's got himself through, but again I think Bradfield might have the DRS assistance now to get himself back after the Alpine there. We saw the move there, of course, into turn 4 before. From Bradfield, there he goes around the outside. He tries to go around the outside of the Alpine, and I think Jinner then gets the move done. He keeps the position there for the time being, as they now go into sector 2 as well. But both the drivers there, we saw on the last lap Jinner nudging the Alfa Romeo, and now we're seeing the Alfa Romeo nudging Jinner as well. So as Bradfield goes very deep there into the hairpin, and that has lost him out of the position there. Bradfield, I think, getting a bit too aggressive there at this stage of the race, to be fair, but like I said, he is new to 100% league racing as well. But there we go. Seekers Muck there is doing a good job of sticking at this battle as well. He's now within the DRS range of this battle, which is helpful because he is now going to be within range of potentially getting himself back up into the higher points paying positions, as Bradfield once again battling with Jinner, and these two are really having a problem there, it looks like, as now there's contact between the two of them and they're both off the circuit. So that is just exactly what you expect there from aggressive driving. It's never going to end well, and I think there we go. That is, like I said, I think it was coming between the two of them. Unfortunately, they're still close together on the track, as Jinner coming back at him now as well into the final corner, as into turn 14 we go. Also, there's a bit of contact there between the two of them once again, and Jinner just needs to calm himself down, as does Bradfield as well. I think they've lost a lot of time now to the likes of the Ferrari of Beat and Kaidel, which is not going to help either of them now as well. They come down at the main straight towards turn 1, and into turn 1 we go, and it's going to be close indeed between the McLaren going down the inside there of the Ferrari. No moves made, but it looked close indeed, and now they're back underway and back towards turn 4 this time as well. Sick as muck in all of that has got himself up into P4 with some very calm and clean driving, which is exactly how it's done in 100% racing, and good stuff indeed from Sick as Muck. He's got himself up into P4 now on the hard compound tyres. He's the second highest runner apart from AC Water, the championship leader on the hard compound tyres. So that is great news indeed for Sick as Muck. He can get himself clear of the battles behind and can get himself out of the way and underway there in this race, and try and check out in the distance, to be honest, and looks like he's going to be doing that just as well as I said it. Bradfield got and Kaidel now up behind Jinner, it looks like, and let's have a look and see how it's going to play out this time, as I don't think it's going to be any different, to be honest. I think maybe the soft compound tyres of the likes of Gamer there in P1, the likes of Bradfield and Beat there in P6 and 7, and of course Kaz, who did pit a couple of laps later, might be dying out at this stage of the race. They've done about 10 laps there on those soft compound tyres. I wouldn't expect them to last that much longer, as a yellow flag is out for somebody in sector 2. It's unfortunately for Martin there, who's had a spin got himself back underway though, as he's dropped down behind Scooby Stew there, has the Alpine driver, but get himself back underway after a bit of a spin there through the end of sector 2. Here we go then, down the main straight once again. The DRS is available now for the Alfa Romeo of Bradfield. Into turn 1 we go. Is it going to be a late lunge? It doesn't look like he's a bit too far back there to make any late lunges. Reflection up into P12 ahead of Vintage. We'll go back to this battle here. That's going to be close indeed on the exit of turn 3. And once again down towards turn 4 as well. Here we go then, the Alfa Romeo and the Ferrari back at it again. We're not going to be able to get past the hard runner of Ginner there in P5. Ginner's actually catching up to the battle here with Sicker's Muck. So Sicker's Muck could be drawn back into this battle here actually, if he's unlucky, that is. He probably wants to be checking out in the distance there at this stage of the race so that he doesn't have to worry about any cars behind him, but at the moment they're actually bringing the battle towards him as well, to be fair, so they need to watch out in his mirrors there, does Sicker's Muck, and hope that he can stay out of that 1 second window to the Alpine currently behind him. Here comes Bradford once again down the mid straight, I should say, with the DRS assistance, but again I think too far back there on the Alpine to make any moves into turns 10 and 11. Battle resumes then. We'll come back to this one, or we'll stay with this one I should say, because of course I think this is the closest battles on track are for these points paying positions right here, and Bradford I think wants to get himself by, but I don't think those tyres are at the right stage of their life cycle anymore, and I think they're about to drop off the cliff I think very soon, as it looks like the soft compound tyres are still within the range there, but of course the DRS is helping him stay within the within that 1 second window I think of the Alpine. Down the back, Bannister and Serious Mushroom switching places into turn 1, down the inside, around the outside, sorry, goes Bannister. Great moving done indeed there. He's got the DRS as well to defend from the position. No, he hasn't. He has somehow Serious Mushroom's got the DRS. But now into turn 4 we go, and it's Serious Mushroom has to status quo in that position for the time being. Bannister has just dropped off this battle here, and now I think he needs to get himself within the range of the DRS of Kydell, so that he can at least fight for the next phase of this race. But it looks like the soft compound runners, I think, we can see Bradford here just dropping off a bit more from Ginner there. Ginner trying desperately, I think, to get in the DRS range of Sicker's Muck to get himself a bit of a tow and pull himself along in this race. But yeah, like I said, Bradford there hanging in with the DRS as his beat as well. Sorry, in P7. Currently as well, Kydell there doing a good job sticking at the two red cars ahead of him on the soft compound tyres. But I think the soft compound tyres might be getting towards the end of their operating window as we go very wide there once again for Bradfield. They're off the circuit at the end of sector 2 into sector 3. I think he's gained some time from that, but thankfully no penalties popped up for the Alfa Romeo, which is good news indeed. Into turns 14 and 15, Bradford now putting the pressure back on Ginner as well. You can see here the gap has closed in, and I think Bradford might be going for an overtake on this occasion. Let's see what he can do with the DRS assistance. There's no DRS there for Ginner, and now towards turn 1 we go. It's going to be close indeed. The slipstream is still activated as now he chooses to go down the inside, and he goes very deep, and off the circuit goes the Alfa Romeo, and I think that's going to be a penalty indeed when he comes off the track as well. No, it's not. Somehow I don't know how he avoided a penalty there, but nonetheless Ginner now back into P6 there, as Bradford has made the move somehow, somewhat illegally I think, but nonetheless. So he's made the move anyway, and yeah, I think I said that he got away from the stewards on that one, but I'm sure that will be looked at after the race, and nonetheless, so Ginner doesn't have to worry too much, and like I said, I think he just needs to worry about sticking with the battle, to be honest, because Sicker's Muck is not far up the road, and if he can get himself within the DRS range, he can use Sicker's Muck to sort of put himself along. He's got to get himself back past always contact once again between Ginner and Bradfield into turns 10, that is, as DRS is once again available for Ginner. And now down towards turn 11 we go. It's side-by-side contact once again as Bradford tries to turn in with the car inside of him, and Ginner there does get the move back up into P5, and off the circuit goes Beat there. Beat's had an issue. He's gone drifting wide. Kydell I think has made the most of it. His ex-gamer is in the pit lane. He's made the decision to come into the pits there from the lead of the race. We'll come back to that battle there. He's onto the pit lane now. Ace Immortal takes the lead of the race there from the previous race leader, and onto the medium compound tyres goes the Aston Martin. So let's have a look and see where he's going to come out. Bradford and Beat. Kydell was switching places as well. Beat has got himself back up into P7. Bradford's carrying on. Beat is still Beat has decided to abandon his stint on this one, and he's coming to the pits as well. So there we go, done and dusted for those drivers. X Gamer coming out in P3. He's going to be ahead of the Sick as Muck. They're just about, as Bradford and Ginner once again battling into turn one. I think one of them just needs to just calm down a bit and think about what they're doing. And that Bradford, they're just shoving off the Alpine driver. And that is just costing them both more time, and the drivers around them is going to be involved in it as well now, as Ginner there goes through into turn 4, and Bannister now up into P6 ahead of Ginner. Ginner there Bannister capitalising on the battling between his teammate and Ginner as well, and then getting himself up into P7. Good stuff indeed. There we go, then done and dusted. A Serious Mushroom there trying to get himself past Kydell around the outside in the hairpin. We've got a very bad angle of this, as Kydell now swapping places again, but now he's got himself back up into P8 as Kydell there slotting himself back in, and that is it, done and dusted as well. Good stuff indeed. Kaz is back in the pit lane there. He's done 10 laps on those soft compound tyres. He's onto the medium compound tyres now, and I think that might be him calling it a day there on the soft compound tyres completely, as Ewok has got himself past. Oh, has he? Oh, Serious Mushroom coming back past as well into turns 10 and 11. He's made the move, kept the position as Serious Mushroom, but good stuff indeed, as Ewok there all over the back of the battle here. He's back up in the points as Ewok as well, and all the drivers ahead of him apart from Ginner and Sick as Muck are in range of being overtaken very soon as well, because they're on younger tyres or softer compounds of tyre than himself as well. So here comes Bannister now. Bannister going to try and get himself past his teammate here, but we've seen that Bradford has been a bit robust in his defence, so I'm not quite sure what the play is going to be here between the Alfa Romeos. Into turn 1 we go, as Bannister makes the move down the inside, and I think he's probably a bit worried about what's going to happen here, because he knows that his teammate has we can see he's seen his teammate has been a bit elbows out, put it that way, in this race. He's got the move done, has Bannister there up into P5. There is the Alfa Romeo driver, and there we go, then done and dusted. Ewok has got himself past Kydell as well, it looks like, up into turn 4. Oh, it's close indeed between the two of them now as they go into sector 2. He's going to have to back out of that, I think, because it's not the right place or the right time to battle through there. And he's got the move. Oh, he's not got the move done, unfortunately, as Ewok there, but he thought about it. And now Ginner and Bradfield are once again resuming their battle here as well, it seems. So that is not going to be good news for either of them, I don't think. As they're through into turn 10 we go. DRS is activated for both cars as we go down the main straight as well. And now we've got through in towards the next braking zone. It's going to be deep on the brakes for Ginner. That is not a good move there from Ginner, and that is putting both off the circuit. And we saw that coming from a mile away, I think. And that is Ginner costing himself positions, and Bradfield as well. And that is exactly what you don't want to do. If you wanted to encapsulate 100% league racing in one clip, that is exactly what you don't want to do, because like I said, that is how to ruin yours and others' races in one quick swoop. I'm not quite sure if Ginner's got damage from that as well. It looked like he went right into the back of the Alfa Romeo as well with the front wing. So I'm not quite sure if there's going to be some issues there for the Alpine driver, but he's been passed by Serious Mushroom as well. Bannister has got himself 3.5 seconds up the road from these guys now, which was good news indeed for Bannister, who's escaping the issues. Kydell's in the pit lane. I'm not quite sure what's happened there to Kydell. Did he get damage in that incident as well? He has lost a little bit of the left end play there for the McLaren driver. He's coming into the pit lane now, as Kaz is where's Kaz gone? Kaz is behind the race leader. He's actually been lapped as Serious Mushroom, and Ginner switching places once again into turn 4. This time Ginner gets himself back up into P6, but I think, like I said, Ginner and Ginner and Bradford there, we were watching them battling away, and like I said, I don't think either of them had a bit of a calm head on either of them, to be honest. So Serious Mushroom there slotted himself into P7 at the moment. Bradford is the only driver left on the soft compound tyres as well, so he's probably hoping that he's going wide as well there, so I think he's just proving that the soft compound tyres, I don't think, are the right tyre to be on anymore. They have probably dropped off the cliff at this stage of the race, unfortunately for Bradfield, and we've seen the likes of Beat there coming the pit lane for some hard compound tyres. And the other driver was X Gamer, of course, wasn't he, from the lead of the race. He's now got 8 seconds to Siege, and then he's got another 8 seconds to Immortal there to try and get those, try and get the gap back down. But he's now within the range, I think, of the pit stop window of Immortal, and so if he can keep going, he can get himself back into the lead of this race should the top 2 currently pit. But at the moment, Siege has done 15 laps on his medium compound tyres, and they're looking okay. AC Immortal on the hard compound tyres, I think, will probably be just getting inside the optimal window for those hards, to be honest. honest. He's done a great job so far in this stint. As has Sicker's Muck, to be fair. I would have to praise Sicker's Muck for doing a good job there. He kept his nose clean, kept out of the issues, and there he's done a good job there, getting himself into P4 and getting away from the drivers behind, as we said as well. Good stuff indeed. Into turns 4 we go. No moves made there for Serious Mushroom, but Martin has been overtaken by Scooby Stew. Into P13 goes the AlphaTauri driver. He's got some DRS there to help him as well, get himself ahead of the Alpine a bit more as they go into turn 4 as well. Once again, good stuff indeed. Of course, Beat there has made a pit stop there onto the hard compact tyres, as has Kydell as well. Kydell, we saw, had to make a wing change, didn't he? So that is why he's a bit further back. But we'll see him come back into this race. We've seen the pace there from Kydell before, and we'll see him come back, but potentially even into the points paying positions. I think he's got the pace to do so. We're only 16 laps into 57, so he's still got 40 laps or so to go as AC Mortal there rounds the final couple of corners to cross the line to start lap 17. And that is him currently in the lead, and he's got an 8.1 second gap there to Siege at the moment. Siege doing a good job there in this race. Again, one of the drivers who keeps it clean and gets the good points at the end of the race, and that is again what he's looking to do in this one. Gamer there bringing the gap down. It's now 7 seconds to Siege. It was 8 seconds on the last lap, so it's gaining almost a second per lap to be fair on Siege, which is quite a good pace there indeed on the medium compound tyres, albeit they are 12 laps old, 12 laps younger than the mediums on the Williams in P2 currently. Elsewhere down the field, we've still got the battle here for P6. Serious Mushroom now under pressure from Reflection there. Reflection, of course, starting from the back of the grid. He's got himself back up into the points paying positions, into P8 there, and looking good to get himself back up into maybe a bit further as well, potentially towards the end of this race. We'll find out now, as Serious Mushroom now putting the pressure on Jinner. He's dropped off the back here, as actually has the Haas driver, so that is putting him more into the hands of Reflection. Bradford's getting himself past Ewok there. The soft compound tyre is still working well enough for the Alfa Romeo driver, it looks like. He's got himself back up into P9 there, has Bradfield there, but again, I don't think those soft compound tyres are going to be lasting much longer, to be honest. They will be getting towards the end of their optimal zone. I need to blow my nose once again because it's starting to pour everywhere, so bear with me 1 second. Right, we're back. Good stuff indeed. We've just seen that, unfortunately, the curse of the nose blowing means that Bannister picked up the first penalty of the race so far. We did see actually Kaz pick up a penalty for speeding in the pit lane, but of course he has served that when he made his second pit stop as well for the medium compound tyres that he's currently on. So Bannister now the first driver to pick up a 3-second penalty for track limits in this 100% race. The 57 laps that we've got to go, we're on to lap 18 now for Bannister, and he's already picked up a 3-second penalty here. In the background you can see Serious Mushroom and Jinner there in turn 1. He's trying to weave to break the slipstream. Serious Mushroom deep on the brakes there into turn 1. Can he make any moves now into the braking zone? But he's not been able to get that close, unfortunately. He's going to have to bide his time. Can he go again now towards turn 4 again? I think he's too far back at this stage. He could have made up a move potentially into as we got another move back down the background again. Ewok has got himself back up into P9, and now we've got another switcheroo once again as Ewok has swapped his position again with Bradfield. Bradfield and Ewok, they're still carrying on their battle once again. It seems like it's going to be a race-long battle, this one, until those soft compound tyres either pop or the Alfa Romeo driver decides to pit, because I think 17 laps on those soft compound tyres is probably their optimum. We saw, of course, Gamer there, I think, do 12 laps on the soft compound tyres in total before he decided to abandon those softs and get onto the medium compound tyres that he put on 5 laps ago now. But at the moment, it's, like I said, Bradford, the only driver on the soft compound tyres at this stage of the race, that is. So we'll have to wait and see how the strategies unfold. We've got a lot of drivers, a lot of mix of strategies here, to be fair. We've got the softs. We had a few more drivers start on the soft compound tyres as well. We've got a lot of medium compound tyres and, of course, the hard compound tyres as well. So lots of people with all varying strategies all over the place at the moment in this race. So we'll have to wait and see how it all unfolds in terms of which strategy is going to be the best strategy and who's going to pick the best strategy to win the race, that is. At the moment, Immortal is leading the way as Ewok there goes deep into turn 14. That's going to compromise his exit onto turn 15 and onto the main straight as Bradford, I think, does peel away there to go. No, he doesn't. He was going to go in the pits there, and now he's He's lost position anyway to Ewok. I'm not quite sure what the play was there, but Bradfield there dropping down the order there. He's dropped down into P10 now behind the Mercedes driver, and I think was meant to come in the pits. Maybe they told him to stay out there before they have to before they got the tyres ready or anything like that. But now I think because of that move, I think he's lost out position there to Ewok and not been able to fight back there into turn 4 this time. He's had to bide his time. Maybe he thought that his teammate of Bannister would be pitting, but I'm not quite sure. Not quite sure what's happened there to Bradford there. Maybe just trying to make a dummy into the pits, but I think it only sort of caught out himself really than compared to anybody else, as Beat and Martin battling away again into Sector 2. And now we go, the Ferrari has got ahead of the Alpine there, of course, on the fresher hard compound tyres. 18 laps done on the mediums. How many laps are we looking to do on the medium compound tyres? You should say. I would not know. I would estimate that they would probably do about 25, maybe 30 laps at a push. We'll have to find out exactly when the other drivers do come into the pits there, but they've got 19 laps done on those medium compound tyres now for Siege. He is 9 seconds back there from Immortal. Gamers brought the gap down to 4.2 there. It was, of course, 8 seconds a few laps ago now. So that gap is coming down still. Serious Mushroom is sticking with the DRS range of the hard runner of Jinnah in the Alpine there. He's sticking at him at the moment. And there we go into turn 1. I don't think it's going to be close enough, unfortunately, to make any moves. Reflection's dropped off the back here, but again, sticking within the DRS range and maybe saving some fuel. Bradford does make a pit stop on this stage at this stage. We're on to lap 20 now as well, so he's done 19 laps there on the soft compound tyres, which is a pretty mean feat indeed on those soft compound tyres, I would say. On to what is this going to be? It's going to be more soft compound tyres, is it? I'm not quite sure what the strategy is there, but yeah, okay, fair enough. If you want to do 20 laps each on the soft compound tyres, that's going to get you to lap 40, and then you've got 17 laps left. So I think you might have probably wanted to go on to the medium compound tyres for the middle stint, and then go on to the softs at the end. But nonetheless, Bradfield has chosen to go again once again on the softs, I should say, and then he's come out in P15. He's 12 seconds behind Martin at the moment, but I think that gap will come down pretty rapidly. They're fresh soft compound tyres compared to 19-lap-old medium compound tyres. I think will be very much in the favour of the soft compound tyres on that one. We'll have to wait and see, as has got behind the AlphaTauri of Scooby Stew. He's within the DRS range as well of the AlphaTauri. You can see that rear wing open on the Ferrari and the Alpine of Martin behind as they go down towards the end of the middle sector. Gamer sets the fastest lap of the race. He's really going for it now. Is the Aston Martin driver. He's brought the gap down to less than 3 seconds to Siege, and of course the gap overall is about 12 seconds to the lead of the race, which is of course well within a pit stop, well within a safety car pit stop as well, to be fair. If there was a safety car brought out, AC Immortal would not be able to retain the lead, I think, unless Gamer of course did pit as well. So they'll have to wait and see how it all unfolds in this event. Serious Mushroom still sticking behind the Alpine of Jinnah for the time being, as is Reflection as well. Ewok has got himself past, he was battling with Bradford, wasn't he, of course. He got himself into P9 there, and now he's trying to close the gap there to the medium runners ahead of him. Beat has got himself past Scooby Stew there, down the main straight towards turn 1. Before turn 1, he has got the move done into the braking zone. And that is the Ferrari back up into P12, and can set his sights now on getting himself after Chewy there in P11, who's doing a good job there on the medium compound tyres, sticking with Vintage as well. Scooby Stew trying to come back at him into turn 4, but he's not got the pace, or not got the gap there to go for on this occasion, unfortunately. So there we go, that is done and dusted there for Scooby Stew. He's lost out to the Ferrari. Those two drivers now, Scooby Stew and Martin, on 20-lap-old medium compound tyres, I think will be losing time there to the Ferrari driver of Beat, who's got the fresher hard compound tyres on and is now looking to get himself as far away from the battle as possible and chase after the Haas ahead of him of Chewy. But we'll have to wait and see how quickly that's going to happen as well. Currently DRS is still available for Scooby Stew, so that is good news indeed. You can use that DRS to drag himself along there and keep within the range of the Ferrari if possible as well. Bradford there has brought the gap down now to this battle ahead of him to 10.8 seconds as Vintage picks up the second time penalty of the night there. That is the 2 penalties there for Bannister, and for Vintage 3 seconds each there for the Alfa Romeo and the Williams, unfortunately for them. Bradford now bringing the gap down to 10.5 there. It is coming down quite quickly indeed, like I said, to the drivers ahead of him on old medium compound tyres. Let's have a look and see, are any of them going to make a pit stop at the end of this lap? 20 laps done on the mediums. We saw Bradford do about 19 laps there on the soft compound tyres, so, and I think that was a push, to be fair, but we might see the mediums go a bit further than that. There's Scooby Stew unfortunately has lost out to the Ferrari there. No DRS for the AlphaTauri, but there is DRS there for Martin in the Alpine. Let's have a look and see if he can make any moves into turn 1. No, not quite. He's staying behind for the time being. Bradford there sets the fastest lap of the race there on the soft compound tyres. He's done a 32.799, which unfortunately Immortal has not been able to eclipse. I say that because Immortal usually gets the fastest lap point as well, doesn't he? But not so far. Bradford is holding on to that at the moment. But good. So that's good news there for the Alfa Romeo outfit. They will get an extra point, of course, if Bradford does get the fastest lap. And whoever gets the fastest lap, regardless of where they finish on the grid, will be able to get that extra point from for their team and for themselves as well in the standings. So that is there's still that to play for as well. As we've got yellow flags here. Chewy's off the circuit, as is Vintage. Not quite sure what's happened to the two here, but they've got themselves back underway. Vintage, I think, dropping down the order, wasn't he? Because he was ahead of Chewy. I'm not quite sure if there was any contact between the two. I thought the gap was quite a bit substantial, to be fair, between the two of them, as Martin's now got past Scooby Stew as well for P13. But yeah, not quite sure if there was some sort of contact or some sort of issue there for Vintage. I think he might have had a bit of a slide there through Sector 2. Which cost him the position there to Chewy. Chewy now up into P10 there, up into the points paying positions, and can try and get himself up further through the order. Siege and Gamer switching places there into turn 4, and Siege has dropped down to P3 there behind the Aston Martin now, I should say, of X Gamer there. Gamer getting himself up into P2 there and getting himself up into the fight once again. He's got 10.7 seconds now to the lead of the race, and they've got a Ferrari there of, I think, Kaz, who has been lapped there, trying to get himself out of the way. So that is that. Bradford there sets the fastest lap again of 32.4. As Kaz there does get out of the way. Just making sure he doesn't get in the eye line of the Aston Martin, and that is him sorted out of the way there. It was Gamer, sorry, not out of the way, sorry, Gamer there just get himself back through. Kaz picks up a penalty there going off the track, I think, so he needs to make sure just he keeps it on the grey stuff, but of course just getting out of the way there of the faster cars coming through ahead of him as well. But now what he can do is stick within the DRS range and pull himself along there with an extra bit of speed there from the fast guys, so he can use that to give him the advantage there later on down in the race itself. 10 seconds is the gap there between Gamer and Immortal, and now the 10 seconds, of course, without Immortal's pit stop will come back into Gamer's favour should the AlphaTauri driver does make a pit stop soon. He's already got out of the 1 second window of Siege, which is a great feat indeed from Gamer to get himself ahead of the Williams driver and out of the DRS range to protect himself. But there we go. That is that for the top runners at the moment. Sick as Much still doing a great job there in P4 there, keeping it clean and calm, although he has been caught here by Bannister and Jinner. Now Jinner trying to line up a move there on the inside into turn 1. Bannister there just letting him go there, I think, on this occasion. He knows that the hard compound tyres probably are in the better window than the mediums at this stage of the race. There 23 laps there on the mediums now, and that is probably not the best tyre life or the best tyre wear that you can have on those medium compound tyres at this stage of the race. They're probably a bit tired, no pun intended, of being on that car at the moment, and they probably want to be switched onto something nice and new. But he wants to stick at it for the time being. Into P11 goes Beat there. He's got himself past Vintage there. The battle between Chewy and Vintage being interrupted by the Ferrari, and now Beat got himself up into P11 there, getting himself now within range of the points paying positions as well as we go through into the hairpin now, turn 7, 8 and 9. So Sick as Much, like I was saying, having a nice calm race for about 20 laps or so, and now he's got Jinner all over the back of him. Bannister is coming with him as well, and Serious Mushroom is clinging onto the back of this battle too. Reflection could be within the fight as well very soon. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see how it all plays out in this one, as Jinner now will be looking to get himself back ahead of Sick as Much to become the second of the hard runners in terms of the classification, in terms of the order, I should say. But we'll have to wait and see how it all plays out. 25 laps out of 57. They're almost at halfway, at the halfway point, I should say. Nobody going in the pit lane. They're just trying to break the slipstream, it looks like. Jenner now coming down the back straight, trying to stay within the slipstream of Sick as Muck. Bannister is also doing the same as Serious Mushroom has got the DRS as well. He's stayed within that 1 second window. Unfortunately, reflection there. If he doesn't get within the 1 second, we'll just drop out of this battle here, unfortunately, as they pull each other along, I should say, with the DRS assistance. Here comes Jenner once again, now down towards turn 4. Again, defending a bit of thin air, really, is Sick as Muck, unfortunately, which is, unfortunately, to cost everybody a bit more time, as, of course, there was no option there for Jenner to make any move. He was too far back there. It would have been a bit of an audacious and a bit of a silly attempt there to try and make a dive bomb, but he managed to control his urges there. I know it's very easy to try and go for it, but nonetheless, he's done a good job there of sticking at it in this one. Jenner now back up into P5 and now trying to get himself back up into P4 as well. He's not far off this battle at the moment. And now Sick as Muck will be seeing the Alpine all over the back of those, all over the mirrors there of the in that Mercedes. And into turn 11 we go. AC Mortal sets the fastest lap of the race as Jenner's gone for a spin. Jenner's had a spin there. Unfortunately, he's gone off the circuit. He's got himself back underway. I think he might be able to get himself back in P8 there ahead of Ewok. Unfortunately, he's had a problem there, Jenner, and I think those tyres now will be very warm indeed. He needs to make sure that they don't cause him another spin. As into turn 13 we go. Ewok has got himself ahead of the Alpine now. Jenner down to P9. Unfortunately for Jenner, that has cost him lots of positions there. He was in P5, wasn't he? He's lost out almost 5 seconds or so. But to be fair to Jenner, he's managed to get himself back underway quite quickly indeed. So he didn't lose up too much. Reflection, Serious Mushroom in the pit lane. So he will get those positions back now with Jenner as he comes down the main straight, trying to get himself past Ewok now. Ewok, of course, on the hard compound tyres as well. So that will mean he's going a little bit longer in this first stint. I think it might be hards, mediums in this race for a one-stop strategy, that is. Chewy now up into P8. Has got to get himself past the Haas, but he hasn't made any moves just yet into the first turn. Scooby Stew gets ahead of Reflection, of course, who's in the pit lane now, coming out the pits in P14, and he's now onto the hard compound tyres probably towards the end of this race. Has got himself past Chewy there. Chewy into turn 4. Chewy dropping down to P9 there, but of course yet to make a pit stop, and Beat has made a pit stop there 13 laps ago, albeit onto the hard compound tyres, so looking to carry on his stint there. Serious Mushroom there has been in contact there with Bradford. I think it was Bradford off the circuit, gets a 3-second penalty. Scooby Stew is all over the back here of Serious Mushroom, who's just made his pit stop. Scooby Stew, of course, yet to pit, and Bradford has pitted onto the 6 lap old, onto the soft compound tyres. So we've got a lot more pace, I think, at this stage of the race than the rest of them. As Bradford now down the outside of Scooby Stew, we can't quite see it here. Now we can, and now down towards onto the middle straight of the circuit. Bradford alongside Scooby Stew with DRS assistance. There's contact between Bradford and Scooby Stew, and I think that is. Yeah, that is a problem there for Scooby Stew. I'm not quite sure what happened. We saw the end of it as Scooby Stew is in the wall, and I'm not quite sure what happened there, unfortunately for Scooby Stew. But Bannister now decided to take a pit stop, as Kaido, I think, will be looking to get himself through the past the Alpha Tower as well. He's got no front wing at this stage of the race. Not quite sure what happened between Bradfield and Scooby Stew there, but of course it will be reviewed, and certain people will get their penalties should that be required. Chewy's in the pit lane as well. He's done 26 laps there on the medium compound tyres. A great stint indeed there for Chewy. So yeah, good stuff indeed. Bannister has put the hard compound tyres on as well. He's coming out the pit lane in P9. I think, is it close indeed? It's close indeed. As Bradford is ahead. He's got himself ahead of Bannister's ahead. Sorry, Bannister's come out ahead of Serious Mushroom there. Serious Mushroom's 2 seconds back, of course, on warmer tyres though. So he will be able to get himself potentially up the order. Serious Mushroom there is trying to get himself, trying to defend from Bradfield as well now into turn 4, and that is him done and dusted. Scooby Stew's in the pit lane there. He's had to get his front wing replaced, and he's onto the soft compound tyres. I would have thought he would have gone onto the hard compound tyres. Maybe he didn't have any hards left, unfortunately, for the AlphaTauri driver. So yeah, like I said, I think that'll be that done and dusted. Should that be reported after the race? But because I'm not quite sure what happened there between Bradford and Scooby Stew on a straight as well, of all places, it is quite difficult to make any mistakes or make any have any issues there. Siege is into the pit lane. He's done 27 laps on the medium compound tyres, so the medium compound tyre has been switched out now for the hards, for most drivers that is. And onto the hards he goes there in P3. He will come out, I think he'll come out in P4. He might be behind Sick as Muck here as he trundles down the pit lane. Sick as Muck is going to get past there into P3. Of course, yet to make a pit stop just yet. And Siege coming out there ahead of Jinner there into P4 as well. Good news indeed for Siege. He's in some clear air. and can use that to his advantage, of course, for the warm-up of those tyres and then getting himself back into the groove of this race as well. Good news indeed. Everybody is back out on track. I'm not quite sure. Again, we'll have to double check what happened after the race there with Scooby Stew and down the mid straight. Maybe there was not enough room given, and unfortunately that has cost Scooby Stew his position in this race. He's down to P16. He's still going though, which is good. But he's got the soft compound tyres on as well, which means he's going to go as great guns indeed to try and get himself back into the safety, back into the queue. Bannister and Bradfield once again battling away as Bannister now is on the soft compound. No, Bradfield, sorry, so on the soft compound tyres. Bradfield's getting himself passed into P9 and Bannister dropping down to P10, but all over the back of his teammate it looks like at the moment, and it seems like Bradfield there is either going to try and pull his teammate along, which will be good news for Bannister at the moment on those soft compound tyres, or he's just going to check out in the distance. Either way, we'll have to find out. Down in the front, Bannister there almost drifting it around there to turn 9 there. He's managed to keep it on track, thankfully, just about. But Bannister now trying to drive away there from Serious Mushroom and Reflection behind Kaido. He's done 13 laps there on the hard compound tyres. He's got the gap down to 10 seconds. It was 20 seconds previously, so he's managed to do a good job there, bringing the gap down by 10 seconds in the last few laps, and can now be able to get himself even into the points paying positions very soon as well. Gamer has, I think he's getting towards the midpoint of those of the tyre life as Bannister and Bradford switching places again as we go now into turn 14. This is definitely not the team orders that Alfa Romeo be wanting, but nonetheless the moves have been made, and now so like I said, Gamer, there's got a 10.8 second gap to AC Immortal in the lead of this race, and I think, like I said, they will come back to Immortal there if he was going to make a pit stop very soon. So we'll have to wait and see what the next play is going to be for him. But down the back of the order, still the Alfa Romeos are battling away. I'm not quite sure what the strategy is here, because now Serious Mushroom is within DRS range of both of them, and he's brought Reflection with him as well. So I thought if the battle was for the Alfa Romeo drivers was to check out in the distance, it's not worked, because they're now under pressure from the Haas of Serious Mushroom and Reflection in the McLaren as well. So yeah, whatever the idea was between the Alfa Romeo drivers, it is not working out in their favour. I should say that is. Elsewhere, we'll have a look at the stops, because I think we've got quite a few drivers who have yet to take a stop as well. AC Immortal, the current race leader, Sickers Mark in P3, and then we've got Jinner in P5, Ewok in P6, and Vintage is the last runner in P8 currently to not make a stop. And of course, they're all on hard compound tyres, looking to go further on in this race. We might see some stops in the next couple of laps or so onto the medium compound tyres, potentially for those drivers to go to the end of the race on the mediums. But we'll find out as soon as they do make their pit stops. Bradford, Bannister getting very squirrely behind his teammate here, and again going down towards the final turn. I'm not quite sure what the play is here, because Bradfield now is sort of holding up his teammate, it looks like here, as once again it seems like they're trying to overtake each other into turn 14. Now we go down the main straight, and Bannister's got the DRS this time on his teammate. He's got himself past and up into P9 ahead of his teammate this time, and into turn 1 we go. Bradford once again deep on the brakes. He's gone into the back of his teammate again, which I don't understand what is going on there. But I think Bradford now will have the DRS there down in towards turn 4. But once again, he's going to battle side by side with his teammate here as well into turn 4. So there's definitely no team orders for Alfa Romeo, it seems. And anyway, nonetheless, they're still battling away, and Reflection has got himself past Serious Mushroom there into P11 has Reflection. So the problem for Reflection now is he's got to get past the Alfa Romeos, and it looks like Bannister has had a problem there. He's now managed to regain control of the car, but nonetheless, I'm not quite sure what's going on here between Bradfield here, who's on 10 lap old softs again. He's probably within 66% of his stint on those soft compound tyres as well. Probably 15 laps or so on the softs is where you want to be. Speaking of the softs as well, Scooby Stew's got that gap down slightly to Martin ahead of him as well. He's done a good job down the soft compound tyres after having the incident down this straight that we've just gone through. And yeah, I'm not quite sure what Bradfield was up to there, but nonetheless, we will have to look into it after the race, of course. Currently, Scooby Stew picks up another time penalty there, unfortunately for Scooby Stew. Not having a good time in this middle stint of the race, but he did have the fastest lap at one point, which is good news. Let's see what he can do in the latter part of this race as well. But Bannister there all over the back. Now Bradfield has got himself into the battle with Vintage. Vintage done 30 laps there on the hard compound tyres, and now the softs of Bradfield there is getting himself within the DRS range of the Williams ahead of him. Can he make any moves there into turn 4 potentially? I think we'll have to wait and see as we go through, as Bannister having a bit of an issue there. Bannister's gone round, and that is, we saw the Alfa Romeo getting a bit squirrely. He's gone round again. He's got himself back underway. But I think the tyres there have not, well, they weren't, either they weren't warmed up or they still haven't got into their operating window just yet for the other Alfa Romeo there. Unfortunately, Bradford did get past Vintage there into P8. Good news for him, but unfortunately for Bannister, he's just having a problem there with those tyres. I think he's definitely warmed them up a bit now, but they might be a bit too warm at this stage as he goes off once again into the wall this time. And I think there's a bit of frustration creeping in there for the Alfa Romeo driver. He's got himself back on track now. Yeah, unfortunately, that was just a bit of a bad news. As we've got a yellow flag there for Gamer. Gamer's off the circuit. Gamer's had a problem there at the exit of turn 3. He's got himself back underway. He hasn't lost any places, but blimey, I think that was bad news indeed for Gamer. I'm not quite sure what's happened to him there. Yellow flags as well once again for Bannister. I think it's Bannister off the circuit again. And he seems to be just spinning the car around quite a lot, but he's managed to get himself back underway. And there we go, good stuff indeed. Gino has made a pit stop there. He's onto the medium compound tyres, coming down the pit lane now. He might be very close to this battle here with Bradfield once again, which is not what we want to see really, because that didn't end very well. Bradford does get ahead, and I think the likes of Reflection and Vintage might get ahead as well. As we can see the Alpine coming out the pit lane now. Into turn 1 we go, and Serious Mushroom's got the move up into P10 there ahead of Gino as well. Gino on the medium compound tyres needs to warm up those mediums as well. Bannister unfortunately is having issues there on those hard compound tyres. Scooby Stew now has caught up to the back of him here. But it's a bit of a shame there, unfortunately, for Bannister. I think those hards just a bit too overheated today. He just needs to keep them cool down a bit, or cool them down a bit, I should say, and go again, because he can still get some points, I think, in this race. He is not too far off, and of course there's other drivers yet to pit as well, so he can still get himself back in this one. Kaz doing a good job of sticking at it as well. He's not too far off. Bannister there needs to get himself back underway, I think. I'm not quite sure what is happening there to the Alfa Romeo driver. He's now going a bit slow. I think he's got himself back sorted as well. Good stuff indeed. Lovely stuff. Good. All right. Otherwise, we're saying Gamer there had an issue there at turn 3 right here, and he's managed to get himself back underway on the last lap, but unfortunately that has cost him over 9 seconds there to the leader, the race leader of Immortal there, unfortunately. So they're dropping him down the order, but staying in P2 for the time being, 22 seconds ahead of Siege. Ewok carries on as well on those hard compound tyres, but it looks like his teammate Sicker's Muck has called it a day there. On the, as we've got a yellow flag somewhere else, yellow flag for someone, but Sicker's Muck there coming back out onto the medium compound tyres. He's going to be ahead, I think, of Bradfield just about, and that is good news indeed for Sicker's Muck. He can get himself underway and get himself out ahead of the battle behind him there. It seems like it's almost a 5-way battle there between Bradfield, Reflection, Vintage, Serious Mushroom and Jinner as well. Jinner's now got his tyres warmed up as well, but I think Sicker's Muck needs to get his tyres warmed up quite quickly. He's only got a 2-second gap at the moment, and those tyres are not going to be warmed up very quickly as well, and they need a couple more turns before he gets to the top operating temperature, put it that way. Yeah, he's going to be very close indeed actually. Bradfield might be able to get within DRS range here, which Sicker's Muck will not want, but he might not have much to do about it, much to say about it, to be honest, at this stage, because I think he's trying to get those tyres into the phasing them in, and I don't think he's going to have the right. He's now got the Alfa Romeo in DRS range of him now, because of the warm up on those medium compound tyres. You can see how much time you lose because of the warm up on those tyres. Oops, I just hit my headset. And that is that done and dusted. He's now got himself involved in this battle here. As Gino gets himself past Serious Mushroom there for P10. He's got himself involved in this battle here involuntarily. He came out of the pit lane about 3 seconds ahead, but because of the tyre warm up, he's lost out all of that time there to Bradfield behind him. Yellow flag in sector 1, and that is for. No, it's not for Kaz, it's for Alfa Romeo of Bannister. Bannister's had an issue there at turn 1. Not quite sure what's happened there to Bannister. It was going great guns indeed, his race, but unfortunately now it's just not going his way. I think maybe going on to the medium compound tyres or even the soft compound tyres to the end of the race would be a good option there for Bannister, potentially getting himself a fastest lap of the race as well. Yellow flags elsewhere, as I think it's Bannister once again. Yeah, it's Bannister once again. Unfortunately for Bannister, he's not having a good time. Vintage is in the pit lane though, as Vintage pits from the hard compound tyres there on to it's going to be the medium compound tyres there for Vintage. as we've got yellow flag once again for Bannister, who is having a few spins. I'm not quite sure what the idea behind this is, as it is if he causes a safety car, that will incur more penalties for himself as well, because like I said, it is unnecessary. An unnecessary safety car is one that we don't need. Yeah, so I'm not quite sure what he's trying to do there. As we've got a battle here between it's all Immortal and Williams there, as we're just waiting for Bannister to regain his composure and get himself back underway. Like I said, this is not good news. If there's going to be a safety car because of this, it'll be race ruining for some people. It would be not good news at all. So hopefully Bannister can calm himself down and get himself back underway. He has done. Kaz is into the pit lane as well from P16. He's going on the hard compound tyres there. Not great strategy call there, I don't think, as he decided to call it a day there on the medium compound tyres. And now away he goes there, I should say, out of the pit lane. He's going to be coming back out in, as Bannister's got a 10-second penalty there for exceeding track limits. I'm not quite sure what the idea there was, as Jenner now into P8 there. He's got himself past Reflection. Can he get himself past Bradfield as well? Oh, into turn 14 again. This battle's going to resume, isn't it? As Ewok made his way into the pit lane. He's on to the medium compound tyres. There we go. He's coming out behind his teammate. Where is he going to come out in relative to this battle there? Jinner has got past him. Ewok has got past him. Here we go then. Into turn 1 we go, and Jinner I'm not sure what happened there between either of them, to be honest. Jinner there making contact. Bradfield came across as well, and I think there was a McLaren on the outside as well. So that has gone great guns indeed for all the drivers involved. I think everybody's come off worse, which is absolutely fantastic. Bannister's got another 10-second penalty there, I think, and needs to come back to the pit lane, I think, and then sort himself out, because he's having a bit of trouble there getting himself back to the pit lane. I think that's the problem. Those tyres, I think, are nice and warmed up now. If they weren't before, Serious Mushroom there is within DRS range of Reflection now, as Reflection, I think, was involved in the battle there into turn 1. But I'm not quite sure what is happening there between I think Bannister has made his way to the pit lane now, thankfully, as he got some 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane as well, which is not good news for Bannister, unfortunately. Like I said, hopefully he can get a new set of boots on now and get himself to the end of the race at least, and potentially can get a faster lap point as well. Nope, he's decided to retire in the pit lane, so then that is him done and dusted in this race. So never mind then. Good stuff. Gamer there has kept the gap quite consistent. He's done 23 laps now on those medium compound tyres. The hards for Immortal might be getting towards the end of their lifespan as well, so I think they're going to be quite even at this stage of the race, as we can see, unfortunately, the Alfa Romeo car coming out of the pit lane. Hopefully it doesn't cause any issues and it just pulls over to the side somewhere. Kydell and Bradfield resuming their battle here as well into the final corner. Kydell's done a great job there, getting himself back within the points paying positions after having a bit of a difficult race. Here comes Bradfield though, now down towards what is going on here. I don't know what is happening with either of these drivers here, to be fair. It seems like both of them are having a few issues there, trying to get themselves through turns 1 and 2 and down the main straight as well. Bradfield's got himself up into P10 there, ahead of the McLaren, and that is him up into the points paying positions as well, up into P10. Out in front, I would say AC Mortar there, getting himself into the pit lane there. He has made a change there from the hard compound tyres on to the medium compound tyres, and that is him done and dusted there. I think that's all of his pit stops made, as Gamer will take the lead back, but unfortunately I think for Gamer he has to make another pit stop at this stage of the race, so we'll have to wait and see when that's going to be made as well. Gordo has said, I know I'm very late, but good luck to all the drivers as well. Good luck to you, Gordo. Thank you very much. Of course, Gordo got his first points of the season there as well in silver last Monday, which is great news indeed, because of course he deserved that very well indeed. Hungary was a good race for the gold, silver, and bronze drivers. Of course, in terms of the drivers who don't necessarily get some good points, they got some great points indeed. Mumford being one of them in gold as well. So all the drivers there who were looking for their first points got themselves on the table, which is fantastic stuff indeed to see. And now we're on to like I said, we're on to round 13, which of course is the halfway point of the season. There's still a couple more break weeks to come as well, but of course we've got 12 more rounds of racing, 11 more rounds once we finish this one as well. So we're nearly there. We're on the final stretch, so don't you worry. But there we go. Out in the lead now. There's a 4-second gap there for Gamer. But of course, Gamer, I think, has to make his next stop very soon to change from those medium compound tyres to the potentially the soft compound tyres again in this qualifying in this race, I should say. We're on to lap 37 of 57 there. We've got 20 laps to go at the end of this one. And there we go. Then we've got Serious Mushroom there all over the back of Reflection for the time being. And we did have a Mercedes and a Haas, I think it was. No, it's an Alpine and a Haas of Martin and Chewy. Chewy sticking at it as well, looking good indeed. And Bradford and Kydell. Kydell is off. No, Kydell is not off the circuit. He isn't. He isn't off the circuit. Bradford had an issue, I think, going through into sector 2, and that has caused him a spin there. Has Bradford there, Vintage going through as well for P11, and Bradford down into P12. I think 17 laps again on those soft compound tyres. Just isn't the right. It wasn't the right call, I think, to go that far. He did 19 laps on the first stint, and I think maybe those soft compound tyres this time have given up on him as he's gone 17 laps into stint number 2 on those soft compound tyres once again. So I think it's just time for those softs to come off the car and a new set of tyres go onto the cars. Martin's got himself past Chewy there just about for P13. Oh, as Bradford once again off the circuit as well, so that is not good news either. Both the Alfa Romeos having trouble, and unfortunately Bradford now dropping down the order. Has he got a puncture on that Alfa Romeo? No, I think the tyres are just overheated there, and that is not good news for the Alfa Romeo driver and for his race as well. He's going to be lapped now, I think, by the race leaders of the Aston Martin of H Gamer, sorry, and AC Immortal there in the AlphaTauri, I should say. I forgot got to get it right, sorry. But there we go then, into turns 14 and 15 we go. The race leaders are going through now, as there's Bradfield there in his Alfa Romeo, and he's doing a good job of not adhering to the blue flags, as that's Scooby Stew, isn't it? Sorry, of the AlphaTauri. And now that is the Alfa Romeo of Bradfield there, as they go into turn 1 side by side again. And this time Bradfield and Scooby Stew, they are coming together, I think, but they've managed to get themselves back out underway. Bradford there getting himself past Scooby Stew as well. So that is him done and dusted there in this race. And that is that sorted pretty much, I think, as X Gamer has got himself through as well. AC Immortal's the next driver to try and get himself through this queue, as he's got past his teammate of Scooby Stew very quickly indeed. And of course on the fresher medium compound tyres, should be making light work as well of Bradfield as well, I think, getting through very quickly indeed there of those two. Of course on the older soft compound tyres that are probably towards the end of their lifespan at this stage of the race as well. So that is that is them done and dusted. And like I said, the lap cars are now out of the way for the two race leaders. I'm going to have a quick drink break because my throat is starting to get sore. Sorry about this. Alright, back again. Sick as muck there, having a few issues there, I think. It was on the exit of turn 3. We saw Gamer had a problem there as well. Sorry. So yeah, he's got himself back underway. Has Sick as muck there, back into the back into P9, but of course not where he wants to be. He was, of course, going to be probably about P4, I think, wasn't he, at one stage of this race, because he's now been passed by the likes of Reflection, Serious Mushroom, Ewok, and Jinna, and Ewok, sorry, as well. So that has cost him a few places there, Sick as muck there, that error. And now he's got to get himself after his teammate. There's 3 seconds behind Ewok now. Ewok trying to get himself past Serious Mushroom, who's also trying to get himself past Reflection. So there's a 3-way battle currently for P6. Jinna is 5 seconds up the road now, and that is good news for Jinna, because he was looking to check out of this battle as well. But there we go. Still a couple of drivers, I think, to make a pit stop as well in this race. So it's not all sorted just yet. We're on to lap 40 as well, so that will be 17 laps left to go at the end of this one. So we've still got quite a few laps to go. I think that's another soft stint in there for Bradfield. But of course, I think Bradford has to he'll have to go on to another set of tyres, won't he? He'll have to go on to other mediums or hards, because he's done 2 soft stints already from the start of this race. So that is into turn 1 we go. Gamer has lost the lead. Gamer's off the circuit there at the exit. Has he got a puncture there? He's lost the lead. He's lost time as well to Siege as well. This is not good news. He might have a puncture. He might have damage to that Aston Martin as well. It looks like, yeah, there's right end plate damage there on the Aston Martin. He's gone off at the exit of turn 10. I'm not quite sure if there was I don't think there was any helping hand there, because he wasn't near anybody really, was he? But unfortunately, I think the tyres just got a bit too old there for Gamer. He's going to have to come to the pit lane now and serve and sort that out, front wing out as well. Reflection, Serious Mushroom have had a problem there as well, into the hairpin as Scooby Stew makes a pit stop. as well. Now he's coming to the pits there to change his tyres once again. Gamer has come into the pits as well to serve that, or to sort out that front wing damage as well, because I think he needed to get himself into the pit lane there to get himself sorted and get that front wing changed. And here's a set of soft compound tyres going onto the car as well. No, it's medium compound tyres, sorry, going onto the Aston Martin. So that is that done and dusted. Scooby Stew also exits the pit lane onto the medium compound tyres as well. Gamer, I think, will be passed here by Beat there. He's got passed. He's been passed by the he's been passed by the Ferrari driver. He's going to be out behind an Alfa Romeo. No, it's another Ferrari, isn't it? Sorry, I think of Kaz. Yeah, Kaz has got passed as well. But Gamer there will be the lapping car, and he's trying to get those medium compound tyres warmed up as well. I think Bradford's had a problem there going through into Sector 2 as Reflection's also in the pit lane. He's done 15 laps on the hard compound tyres here. Not quite sure what the strategy is here for Reflection. Is he going to go on to he's got a wing change coming. That's why there was contact, I think, between himself and Serious Mushroom. That's what caused the issue. I'm not quite sure what happened there as well between Serious Mushroom and the McLaren driver, but he's now coming out of the pit lane now onto fresh medium compound tyres. He's going to lose out to Martin as well, I think. And I think that's it. We're coming out in P12 position there as AC Immortal there sets the fastest lap of the race there on his fresher medium compound tyres, lap 41 I should say, and he's on to onto the medium compound tyres, and out comes the McLaren there of Reflection there into P13. Chewy has got past as well. I didn't think that would happen, but he's managed to get himself through. Has Chewy, good stuff indeed. Bradford has been lapped, I think, by the race leader. Yes, he has. And unfortunately, Bradford needs to get himself back to the pit lane because he's done 20 laps there on the soft compound tyres. And I think that is soon to be a tyre explosion. In my personal opinion, so that is that done and dusted for Bradford. He needs to make himself get himself back to the pit lane because I don't think those tyres are going to be alive very much longer, to be honest. And I think they're going to be getting towards the end of their life about 5 laps ago, to be honest, as well. So fingers crossed he can get himself back into the pit lane. It's calmed down a little bit now as the gaps have all extended elsewhere. Scooby Stew made his way back into the pit lanes. Kaz is still going as well in P16. Good news indeed for Kaz. Gamer there getting himself back on the medium compound tyres. He's got a 3-second gap there to beat in the Ferrari. But I think the Ferrari might have to pit again as well, to be honest. He's done 29 laps there on the hard compound tyres. Yellow flags for another Ferrari. No, it's for Beat itself. Beat has gone off the circuit there, as I was saying that as well. He's gone off the circuit there with an issue in Sector 2. He's got the car recovered. He's lost a position there to Gamer. He's lost about 7 or 8 seconds as well, to be honest. Unfortunately for the Ferrari driver, he's lost quite a bunch of time there. He's got himself back underway, still in P4, so it's not all doom and gloom there for the Ferrari driver, so he can get himself back underway. But unfortunately, there the commentator cursed there. I was just saying he might have to make another pit stop, but he was doing a good job in this race nonetheless, and he's had a spin there, unfortunately, in Sector 2, which has cost him a lot of positions, and it cost him 1 place there to Gamer as well, who's now got himself up into P3. Right then, Scooby Stew now trying to get himself past the Alfa Romeo of Bradfield this time. I think Bradfield might need to make... He's still not coming in the pit lane, unfortunately, is Bradfield, so I'm not quite sure what is going on between these two. But Bradfield there is still going to carry on those soft compound tyres. 22 laps is done on those soft compound. He's done on those soft compound tyres. Now into turn 1 we go. Scooby Stew's got the move done up into P14, but now the switch back there from the Alfa Romeo driver, and here goes Bradford there up into P. He's got the DRS this time now down towards turn 4, but I don't think he's got the tyre life to make any moves there. He's going to go for a late move anyway, and there's contact once again between Scooby Stew and Bradfield, and like I said, that is not going to be good news indeed, as we've got an Aston Martin there is the Aston Martin of X Gamer there coming through to try and lap these guys as well, which is the problem as well for X Gamer. He's got himself past Scooby Stew, and once again Bradfield is going to be in the way as well for the lap cars. For the lead cars, I should say, but yeah, I'm not quite sure what happened there between Bradfield and Scooby Stew once again. But again, it seems to be more incidents between these two. Bradfield's gone for a spin there, and as they've gone round as well, so I think Bradford there just get those tyres are done and dusted now for the Alfa Romeo driver. Scooby Stew there has got himself through up into P14. Kaz has gone through as well, I should say. I didn't even notice that, but Kaz they're doing a good job. They've got himself back up into P15 with a good race. Like I said, he was having a bit of trouble there on the first few laps, and made a very early stop there, didn't he, onto the soft compound tyres. He goes a bit wide there into Sector 3, but he's got himself back underway, has Kaz. which is good news indeed. I think Bradfield's tyres are just done for. 22 laps there on the soft compound tyres. I think we've seen some people pit earlier with medium compound tyres, to be fair. So I'm not quite sure what the strategy is there for Bradfield, but he's not had a great race, to be fair. Unfortunately, he was involved in the battles with Jinnah, and then again now with Scooby Stew. Scooby Stew has now got himself past. I'm not quite sure what the idea was there from Bradfield, but nonetheless, that is that really for his race. So there we go. The gaps, like I said, like I was saying before that battle, have really spread out so far. We're on lap 44.57. We've got 14 laps to go, for 13 and a half, I think it is. Just about. So there we go. We've got only a few laps to go now. As you can tell, my throat is already getting to the end point of this race. But nonetheless, we've got 28 second gap there between Siege and ACM Auto there. Siege doing a good job there. He, of course, started further down the order. We'll have a look at the position changes. He started in P4, didn't he? Beat has got up a lot of places as well. He's up 4 places. Serious Russian up 8 places as well. Good stuff indeed from him. So looking good for those drivers. But there's still a few more laps to play for. And we'll have to find out how it all unfolds at the top. But it looks like, I would have to say, unless Gamer can catch up to Siege. Can he catch up to Siege 12 seconds in about 13 laps? We'll have to find out. It could be close indeed, but we'll have to see how it all unfolds. Of course, on those fresh medium compound tyres, you'd expect Gamer to be really putting his foot down, putting the pace down as well. On those medium compound tyres, he's gone fastest in sector 3 there, that purple sector just lighting up there, which shows that he's definitely got some pace in that Aston Martin. So we might see that gap come down quite significantly to Siege. Siege there on the 17 lap old medium compound tyres, you would expect to be able to do enough. You expect to get to the end of the race, that is, at least. So there shouldn't be any issues there for Siege. I would hazard a guess anyway, but that's all I know. There could be any sort of things that goes wrong, and it usually does in Formula 1 as well, doesn't it? So there we go. But there we go. At the moment, everybody is nice and calm at the moment. We'll have a look at the penalty situation very quickly. 3 seconds there for Vintage. He's currently 10 seconds ahead of Martin, so he would be able to hold on to that P10 position as it stands at the moment for Vintage. And then we've got Scooby Stew with 3 seconds of penalties, as has Kaz. So currently, even though Kaz is within 3 seconds, there's not going to be any position changes between the two of them should they finish in that order. And then unfortunately for Bradford, he's got 10 seconds. He's got that 10 seconds. I think that was between himself and Jinnah at turn 1, and then a 3 second penalty as well for multiple warnings. He's done 24 laps now on the soft compound tyres, so that is that there for the Alfa Romeo driver. He's getting in the way of there's a Mercedes coming through. I think that's Ewok, isn't it? Yeah, Ewok there coming through now into up in P6 there. Ewok, he's done a good job. He's unfortunately lost places off from where he started in this race, but he's done a fantastic race nonetheless, and got himself up into a good points paying positions potentially with the tyre life. Could get himself after Beat there as Bradford's off the circuit in the background, but he could get himself after Beat there. He's done 32 laps there on the hard compound tyres. If Beat is going to the end of the race, I think those tyres will definitely drop off very quickly indeed. So potentially Ewok could stick at it and get himself back up into P5 should Beat have to make a pit stop, or should his tyres just give out towards the end of the race. I think Bradfield's tyres unfortunately have given out, as he's done 24 laps there. Like I said, he's done more laps than some on the medium compound tyres, which is no mean feat. But I think it might be time to call it a day on those soft compound tyres, in my personal opinion. But Ewok, they're doing a great job there on those medium compound tyres. 11 laps. He will have plenty of tyre life to get to the end of the race, so that is not all doom and gloom for Ewok. He can still get himself within range, and I think Jinnah's going to get himself in range of Beat as well. Beat might be able to get himself back, might drop himself down the order after going for a long stint there. It looks like on those hard compound tyres, he's just got himself past his teammate of Kaz, as yellow flags on the main straight for Bradford as well. I don't know what is going on there, but again, it's probably better if he just pit and quit, to be honest. Martin has been got himself past reflection on 5 lap old medium compound tyres, is looking to get himself past the Alpine and back up the order, as looks like Bradford's had a problem there at turn 1, but now here comes reflection there into turn 4. Can he make a move down the inside? He's got the position, I think, with DRS. He's got the move done, and he's up into P11. There's reflection, great stuff indeed, and that is him up the order there, and up into P11 there for the McLaren team. There's a very slow Alfa Romeo there on the circuit. Immortal there is doing a good job there, extending his lead now to 30 seconds there. He's got quite a comfortable lead at this stage of the race as they go past the stricken Alfa Romeo. The Alfa Romeo is moving, but I'm not quite sure what the what's going on here, as he's got himself back underway, has he? No, he's still got a problem there. I think maybe there's some sort of technical issues there for the Alfa Romeo driver, but nonetheless he's going to be lapped by the rest of the field once again. Unfortunately for Bradfield there, he's having a problem, and he's having technical issues, and now he's got a problem as well with the he's got a problem with the tyres, and he's got a technical issue there. I think you can see there the puncture on the oh, there's a puncture, sorry, I completely missed it, on the left rear of the Alfa Romeo. Let's have a look and see. You can see there on the right hand side of the screen, you can see the tyre carcass is coming off that car, and he's now had a bit of an issue there getting himself up to the over the line, towards the line, I should say, towards the pit lane. He's got quite a long way to go as well, because the puncture happened at the exit of turn 1, and now he was got to get himself all the way around the circuit. And I think, like I said, the technical issues and the puncture combined are going to make it a bit of a difficult issue there to get himself to the line. A yellow flag is out in sector 1, of course, with that stricken Alfa Romeo that is still trying to get himself back round the circuit, but nonetheless he's going to have quite a long time to try and get himself back round there at this pace. We'll have a look at what pace he's going exactly. We'll have to turn the telemetry on, won't we? Yeah, a whole total of 9 miles per hour around the Bahrain circuit. I think that's going to be quite difficult, but nonetheless, hopefully he can get himself sorted and back to the pit lane at some stage of this race. But there we go. So like I said, Immortal's got a 30-second gap. Siege has now got a 9-second gap to a game. A game was bringing that gap down slowly. It was over 12.5 seconds, wasn't it, the last time we looked? And it's now below 9 seconds. So the gap is coming down between Siege and Game. A Game could get within the range of potentially a P2 here. He's got 9 laps to do it, and like I said, he's running out of time there. But he's got an 8-second gap, and it was an 8.5-second gap, and he's got 9 laps to do it. So you're going to have to take 1 second out of Siege every lap, and potentially get within range, I should say, on the final lap of the race. Jinder there is 2 seconds behind now. He's off the circuit, is Jinder. That's not good news. He's gone through the DRS polystyrene sign, but he's just lost out there to beat there. Ferrari was 2 seconds ahead. He's now over 5.5 seconds ahead of the Alpine, and unfortunately for Jinder, that has cost him a good potential. Sorry, I should say, for. Was there a safety car? No. Good potential, sorry, I should say, for P4 here in the Alpine, but still P5 is no mean feat. So good stuff indeed for Jenner if he can get himself to the finish line. But potentially he could even get himself after the Ferrari. 35 laps on the hard compound tyres, and he's still got 8 laps to go. As Bradford, I think, has stopped on the circuit. No, he's not. He's still going. So I'm not quite sure what. Well, I tell you what, we've got to clip this up somewhere, haven't we? So there we go. We can see Bradfield there having the Alfa Romeo there with a puncture is struggling to get himself back to the pit lane here. You can see that as the cars go through as well. Unfortunately, the Alfa Romeo is stricken on the track. He had a puncture at the exit of turn 1 and now has to make his way around the whole track with a puncture on the left rear. And unfortunately, that is not good news at all. As the cars there, the rest of the cars do go flying through. You can see on board here the puncture on the right hand side there. That the carcass of the tyre is trying to get itself free from the car itself, as the Mercedes there comes through as well. But unfortunately for Bradfield and for the Alfa Romeo outfit, that car is done and dusted in this race, and he needs to make his way back to the pit lane as well to get that sorted. Big shame indeed, as he's now got to get himself around the whole lap of this circuit with that puncture and with the technical issues that he's suffering in that Alfa Romeo as well, which is not good news at all. But there we go. Hopefully he can get his way back to the pit lane. It's going to be quite one of the longest laps, I think, around Bahrain, this one. So we're going to have to clip this one up as well and come back to it. But nonetheless, it is one mean feat to get himself around the track at this pace as well. So it's going to be quite an interesting lap time, I think, indeed. So when we get ourselves over the line, as I think Jenna there's going through no, sorry, that is Martin there going through in the distance there, just getting round the Alfa Romeo as well as Reflection and Chewy. But nonetheless, what a race it's been there for all the guys who've taken part. Unfortunately for Bradford, he's got to try and crawl his way back to the pit lane, but hopefully he will get there eventually. We've done almost 6 minutes this lap so far, and we're only in sector 2 at the moment, so not good news for the Alfa Romeo so far. 32 seconds now, the race lead. I think, to be fair for AC Immortal, he's got time to make another pit stop at this stage and come back out still in the race lead. So not too bad indeed for the AlphaTauri driver. He's driven a great race indeed on those hard compound tyres. He did a good job there, actually, although he lost out the lead to Gamer and to Bradford himself, actually, wasn't it, in the first few laps. He still did a good job of staying with the two drivers on the soft compound tyres in the first stint, and that helped him keep the position there in P3, and then of course excelled him further up the order once all the other stops had been taken into account throughout this race. We're on to lap 50 of 57. There is now 7.5 laps or 7 and a bit laps or so to go, as Immortal is now coming into sector 2. Here is Bradfield there. His car is completely stricken on the track, I should say, but hopefully he can get himself, like I said, hopefully one day he can get himself back to the pit lane. But yeah, I'm sure it's not too good news for himself or for the Alfa Romeo team, I should say. They want to get that Alfa Romeo serviced and sorted as soon as possible. But yeah, I'm sure there's a very quick fix there. Putting a new set of tyres on would be my personal opinion, my personal option there. There is a Ferrari there, I think, of Kaz getting ahead of Ginner there. It's not Beat there in P4. It's Kaz down in P15 who's being lapped there by Ginner. Unfortunately for Beat there, unfortunately for Ginner there, he's not overtaking the Ferrari that he wants to be overtaking right now. He's overtaking the lapped car of Kaz, so he's got himself through there up into he's up in P5 past the lapped car of Kaz, but now he's got a 4.5 second gap to his rival of Beat there. Can Beat get those tyres to the end of the race? So that is 38 laps. That's going to be about 45 laps on the hard compound tyres. That's almost well, that's almost the whole race, to be honest. So he's going to be doing a great stint, a mammoth stint indeed, on those hard compound tyres if he can get to the end. As there again is the Alfa Romeo, but he's got himself a very nice position there. Has Beat there in P4, and Ginner now getting himself up into P5. He's now bringing that gap down to 4 seconds itself. He's bringing the gap down massively. Actually, I think the hard compound tyres might be getting towards the end of their life. I think that Beat might have made the wrong decision here, and he should have pitted a few laps ago to get onto the softs or even the mediums as well, and then of course gone a bit faster than he is going now, as unfortunately I think at the moment he's just losing lap time to the drivers around him or behind him especially, and Ginner now is getting that gap down to 3.9 seconds. The Ferrari is there in the distance. You can see the car, that's the AlphaTauri ahead of him in the distance, but there's a car right in front of him which is just the Ferrari of Beat there, as the gap is coming down the main straight. We go 3.9 seconds now. Ewok there has dropped off the back of this battle here. I think Ewok settling there for P6 in this race. Serious Mushroom again with a very good stint on the hard compound tyres is going to be in P7, it looks like so far. Kaidel also doing a mammoth stint on those hard compound tyres. 36 laps there on the hard compound tyres is a fantastic feat. He's got 12 second gap there to Sekus Muck there in P9, so he should be able to keep hold of that P8 position for the time being. Yellow flag still in sector 2 as Bradfield is still having an issue trying to get down the straight in the middle of the lap. He's still going. But nonetheless, it's not going very well. As Ginner now up into, I thought the gap was 3.6. It's now come down to, it's now gone up to 3.7. So the gap there fluctuating between the two drivers still. As Ginner now coming round the hairpin into the middle part of the lap there. 3.3 is the gap now, 3.2. As I think the gap is going to be coming down enough for Ginner to be able to get into that window, at least the DRS window, to try and make a move for P4 on the Ferrari. The Ferrari they're struggling out on those hard compound tyres. 39 laps there. This is lap 40, I should say, on those hard compound tyres. So it's coming towards the end of the stint there for the end of the life of those hard compound tyres, I would say. As we start lap 53 there. As we have started lap 53 already for Immortal, for Siege, and for Gamer as well. But Beat there, coming up to the line there to start lap 53 now. As Ginner now within 3 seconds there of the Ferrari head. He can see them in the distance there. Can he get himself close enough to make a move, as Bradfield now has got himself round off the straight and now trying to get himself up the hill towards turn 12. I think this might be where the car falters, to be honest, because he's having a bit of an issue there trying to get himself up the hill. Nonetheless, as Sick as Muck picks up a 3-second penalty, that is not good news. The good news is, though, the Vintage right behind him has also got a 3-second penalty for Sick as Muck. So if he can stay ahead and finish ahead, then he will not lose any places to the Williams driver. So yeah, unfortunately for Sick as Muck there, that is the 5th driver with penalties in this race. And that is him going to be, well, he's not going to be looking over his shoulder just yet, because of course it does depend on whether Vintage can get himself past or not. But bear with me 1 second whilst I have a sneeze break. Good stuff indeed. So yeah, Vintage not been able to get himself past out on the straight. Reflection has got himself past Martin, has he? Into turn 1. No, it's close indeed, but he's not made the move. And now he's got the inside there for turn 2 and 3. Here he goes then for the second attempt, now down towards turn 4. Who's got the DRS? It is Martin, I think. Martin's got the DRS now, as he's going to defend the position there on the hard compound tyres. 27 lap old hards compared to 12 lap old mediums. It shouldn't be much of a contest, to be honest. But Reflection there staying in P2. Martin doing a good job of defending that position for the time being, and keeping hold of that P11 for the time being as well. Round the order we go. Bradfield there has got himself into sector 3, I should say. He's done a great job there. An 11 minute lap to get himself into sector 3 so far. That is no mean feat at all. Is probably the record being set here for the longest lap, but he's now got himself up into sector 3, so he's not too far away now from the pit lane to be able to get himself in for a change of tyres. I think, though, unfortunately for Bradford, by the time he crosses the line, is actually Immortal in the pit lane. The race leader is in the pit lane. He's making a stop here, and I think he's got enough of a gap there, like I said earlier a couple of laps ago, to make another stop without being interfered, without losing the lead of the race. He's decided to do that, and he has done as well. Now that is him done and dusted. He's going to come out the pits ahead of the Williams of Siege, and he's out of the pit lane now, and Siege is just coming around the final corner, so he's got a massive gap still indeed, has Immortal there to come out ahead of his rivals, Reflection and Martin as well, battling away into turn 1, and they are, there's contact between the two of them as Martin there has gone off, and I think he's taken Reflection off with him as well, to be honest, and that is not good news indeed from Martin, and that is, yeah, unfortunate issues there. It seems like a few drivers there getting a bit too hot-headed in this race at this stage of the race with only a few laps to go. They just need to keep it calm and get to the finish line, that is, as Bradfield is once again going a bit slowly down the back straight now, and he's going to be lapped once again. I think Immortal there going to be on his case before Bradfield can get to the final corner, to be honest. He comes out the pits with an 11-second gap still to his rivals of Siege. X-Game has got the gap down to 2.3 seconds now between himself and the Williams driver. Will that be enough, I should say, to get himself past the Williams now into P2? Then let's have a look, and we'll have to wait and see. There's only 2 laps or so, 2.5 laps to go in this race, as Bradfield has been. Bradford's going for a spin now, it looks like, so he's decided to start spinning instead of just going straight down the pit lane, as he's being lapped once again by Immortal there as they go down into turn 14 and 15, as Sick as Muck has entered the pit lane. So Sick as Muck's call it a day there on the medium compound tyres. He's jumping into the pit lane as well onto a set of soft compound tyres, so he decided to call it a day as well, as once again I need to sneeze. And there we go. So Chewy might take the P10 here. It's going to be close indeed, I think, between himself and Sick as Muck. I think Sick as Muck might have made an error here, as Chewy does take the lead, take the P10, I should say. Martin now goes up into P10 after making the move there on Chewy. Chewy dropping down to P11. Sick as Muck. Oh dear. Right, we'll accept and report that, and we'll jump back into the session, hopefully. Fingers crossed. The driver of the day poll as well is activated in the comment section as well. So you've got Beat there, Mushroom and AC Immortal for your driver of the day. So get your votes in as soon as you can. Of course, once I've got back to the action, then I'll be able to show you what's going on. As hopefully this invite will work still. Let me join the group and jump back in. Yeah, so there you go. Your driver of the day poll is activated. Let me get your votes in, everybody, and get everything onto the screen, onto the stream, and there we go. Good stuff indeed. All right, so we're just joining back into the race, so hopefully we won't miss the end. Fingers crossed, anyway. That is. And let us bear with us whilst we get ourselves back in and back underway. As AC Immortal is currently, he's not on the final lap, which is good news. Perfect. We are back underway. We're on to the final lap there. As Immortal does set the fastest lap this week back into the session. It's 28.653, which is, I think, is only a few tenths off of his qualifying time, to be honest. So not bad indeed there for the race leader and the championship leader as well. Siege there 15 seconds back. Gamer has got himself within 1 second as Ewok picks up a penalty there. Unfortunately for Gamer, that is not good news as there's a Mercedes going through. I think of Sicker's Muck there. Sicker's Muck's got himself through the order, and he's chasing himself after Chewy and Martin. Although like I said, there's still Bradford off the circuit there with his issues. So now we're going to have to wait for Bradford to finish his lap, as he's still trying to impede the drivers who are on track. Chewy off the circuit there as Chewy's gone wide, and I'm not quite sure what's happened to Chewy. Has Chewy got a problem as well? Chewy's off the circuit, and that is not good news there. Chewy losing out there with a 3-second penalty as well to the drivers around him. Sicker's Muck now up into P11, but he's got a 2-second gap there to Martin. I think these drivers have been lapped as well. So they are on their final lap of the race, as AC Immortal is going to come round into Sector 3 once again to finish the 57th lap. So he's going to come round now to finish off the race itself. But here he comes then, the championship leader, the race leader, is going to come across the line very soon indeed to win the Grand Prix. Fantastic stuff indeed from Immortal, and he comes across the line there to clinch the victory in Bahrain, and fantastic stuff indeed from Immortal once again there to eclipse the rest of the pack there to get the win and get another win under his belt as well. Good stuff indeed for himself and the AlphaTauri team. Here comes Siege now. Siege up to the line. It's going to be close indeed as we cross the line between Sicker's Muck and Martin, but Martin does get the final points paying position, I think. But Siege there crosses the line in P3. Gamer only 2 tenths behind in P4. Good stuff from Gamer as well. Looks like he just about beat. Is going to cling on to that P4 as well. He's going to have a 1 second window to 1 second window there to Jinner as well. So that's not too close indeed. Of course, with Jinner, if Jinner didn't have that spin, then we would have been a-okay, I think, for all of them as well, because that would have been close indeed. But there, Beat does get P4 with 45 laps on the hard compound tyres. What a stint that is indeed. Jinner there in P5. Ewok will come across the line in P6. I think he'll just be ahead of a Serious Mushroom there on track with the penalty situation added on as well. I think he only had 3 seconds to be added on. Serious Mushroom does cross the line there in P7. Kaidale going to be in P8 there, and I think Vintage will cross the line in P9, which is good stuff indeed. And that is that then. So good stuff from all the drivers who have taken part in this race. Unfortunately for Bradfield, he's had a bit of an issue there, and that is him done and dusted in this one. And so that is him not classified, well, not going to be classified right at the back, unfortunately, because of course he hasn't even crossed the line to finish the session. Kaz has left the session, although he finished in P15. Vintage does finish there in P9 as well. Good stuff, and even Vintage, and a good run again to the points paying positions as well. Fantastic stuff indeed. So I think we're going to have to wait for a minute and a bit to get the last few drivers to the line. I think they're getting held up behind Bradford now, aren't they? Of course, because of course I don't think Bradford has realised that everybody has finished the race apart from him. But there we go. So. Good news indeed. Like I said, a great race indeed from all the drivers. AC Immortal there, of course, a very good, very well-deserving winner at the end of that one, of course, with an extra stop as well in the last few laps there to get himself onto the soft compound tyres and, of course, clinch the fastest lap of the race there, 28.653, which I think, like I said, definitely beats my qualifying time. So I think it will probably beat some others as well. Siege there with a fantastic drive there into P2. We'll have a look at the penalty position changes as well. 2 places gained there for Siege. Gamer there did start in P2. He made a 2-stop strategy work, and it would have been close indeed. He did have a spin, of course, as well, so that might have been would have been P2 potentially without that spin there for Gamer there into P2 as well. Beat there in P4. Jinner there was very close indeed to P4 as well, but he finishes P5 in the end. Of course, Jinner as well had a bit of a battle and a bit of a spin in the midpoint of the race as well, so that could have cost him the P4 position. Ewok in P6, there's Serious Mushroom in P7, Kaidel in P8, Vintage in P9, and Martin in P10, just about ahead of Sick as Muck in P11. And then we had, of course, Reflection in P12, Chewie in P13, Scooby Stew P14, Kaz in P15, Bradfield there in P16, and Bannister, unfortunately, was the only retirement in this race in P17 as well. Good stuff indeed there. Of course, the podium celebrations there for the AlphaTauri team, and of course from Immortal as well. A well-deserved victory, like I've said, and again with the fastest lap point, the Grand Slam with the pole position, fastest lap, and the race win. Great weekend indeed great race weekend indeed for the AlphaTauri driver. Siege there in P2 and Gamer there in P3 as well. Great stuff indeed. Right then, we're just, I think we're just waiting for people. Yeah, we have got a couple of people just joining the party, hopefully. So we will get ourselves some podium interviews, so bear with us 1 second. Let me just switch the audio cues and everything over to what we need it to be. Good stuff indeed. Hopefully, I think we've got Gamer in the party. Gamer, can you hear me? And can we hear you?
Yeah, I can hear you.
We can hear you. Good stuff indeed. Firstly, like I said, we saw you, of course, start the race on the soft compound tyres, and it looked like you had about an 8-second gap at one point to Immortal there in P2. Did you think that would be the optimal strategy, doing the two-stop?
Yeah, I think if you want to win against Immortal, you have to do something different. He is really fast, of course. He has a big lead in championship, so I don't have to explain why. So I wanted to try something else, and I think it was working out pretty well until I spun. So the two-stop wasn't a bad strategy in my eyes.
It was close indeed, of course, with about a 2/10 gap, wasn't it, at the finish line there to Siege. We did see you have a spin in the middle part of the race as well, like you just mentioned. Do you think that cost you the P2 in this race?
Yeah, I think maybe even P1, because of course Immortal is really fast, but it wasn't impossible, I think. Because the lap I spun, I actually wanted to pit, so that's also the reason why I spun. I think maybe I was pushing a bit too hard to get a good in lap, and I know he was gonna stay out for a while, so I was hoping to close the gap to Immortal, so I could fight him, and he came out of the pit. It will be really difficult as he's just really fast, but yeah, it's a shame I couldn't really even try it as I spun, so yeah.
It's still a podium at the end of the day, which is nothing to be unhappy about, I would say. But it was a great race indeed from yourself as well, and like you said, you had some good battles throughout that race to get yourself back up the order as well. So congratulations to yourself as well. And what's your thoughts? I'll just have to double check exactly what the next race of the calendar is. But what's your thoughts for next week, where we're going to be? Bear with me 1 second. We're going to be. Where are we? We need to sort out my calendar first. There we go. What's your thoughts for it is the Netherlands Grand Prix. Zandvoort is the next race. So what's your thoughts for that?
Yeah, it won't be easy, as Zandvoort is a really difficult track. Especially for a 100% race. I think it's very difficult for a 50% race to do it without any crashes or spins, just to complete it. It won't be easy, but of course we'll try everything to be for the first time on the top spot this season.
Well, fingers crossed it goes well for you next week. Then we'll stay tuned for Gamer to be back in the podium box as well. But we'll see how that all plays out next week. Of course, we've got the gold races on Sunday tonight, this coming Sunday, of course, they will be taking on the Belgian Grand Prix, as well as silver on Monday night, and then bronze on Tuesday night, and then we're back again, like we just said, for the 100% League next Wednesday at the circuit of Zandvoort as well in Netherlands. So stay tuned to ALR. There's more action coming up from Sunday as well, so we'll see you very soon.